Total Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown Deuce ASAP. Come on, man.
Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Yeah, Detroit. Destination restoration. Yeah, it's our time. Can you feel the elevation? We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination. Together all the time together. It's us against the world, it don't get no better. We turned it around, that was the beginning. Coming for the crown, you know we winning. Time to put in the work, I'm about to go berserk. Taking our prisoners, it's my time. Yeah, I know that it hurts. Tearing back on the church, you don't wanna see me in my prime. The mission is to ring, we're caught in everything. In the city, supporting the dream. Vision new I never seen, we deserve to be king. It's all or nothing, no in between. The clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Now the clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Feel the elevation. We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination.
What up, though? Welcome back to another episode of the Downtown Deuce Show with the boss. Hope you guys are having a decent Thursday night after that game. Boss, what's the word? How you feeling?
Oh, man. I mean, a bummer loss. We'll get into it. I, of course, have positives and negatives. You guys know me. I can't show up without any positives. But definitely wish we took this one. But I'm feeling pretty good. It's still very nice in Denver. We're supposed to have snow tomorrow, maybe, but it was 70 degrees today again. So I don't know.
Wow.
I know. So another good day of being able to open the windows.
Man.
I mean, during that loss,
I forgot what summer feels like.
I had fresh air in my apartment during that loss, so that's a positive. But man, are the Spurs good?
Yeah,
man, they're a fun team.
Yeah, they're a good team, man. They are a really good team. They are the real deal. We see y'all in the chat, man. We see you guys in the chat. We appreciate y'all showing up as you guys always do, man, for showing support after a tough loss in this game for sure. We're going to get to that, but we appreciate you guys for showing up. As you guys know, if you guys want to be featured, if we miss your comment, repost it, caps lock, super chat, whatever you guys want to do to get our attention, go ahead and do that, and we will do whatever we can to get to you. By the way, Intel Paper says 10-minute inch. Hey, bro, would you rather have that or the that you usually hear, the little random one? You see the one or the other, bro. Pick one. I'm trying to give y'all a little creativity with the intro. So come on, man. Come on, man.
Incel Paper, I see you often in our chat when we lose. I mean, it's giving incel, but that's part of your name. So but feel free to come in and chime in when we win, which is the majority of the time.
Yeah, I don't see you too much here when we win, bro. What's up with that?
Don't here to hate.
Saw you last game too, Cavs game. Anyway, we appreciate all y'all, man, for being here. So guys, let's get to it, boss. You hit it already, but the Pistons, guys, if you missed this game, the Pistons face off against the Spurs tonight in a rematch from about 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago, and they lose again. They fall short again, 106-121 to drop to 45-16 on the regular season. As far as the injury report, the Pistons started this game 100% healthy, but it didn't last long because Ausar Thompson sprained his ankle, his left ankle, I think, trying to Euro step to the rim, to the hoop on the break, and he turned his ankle, and he did not return, and he stayed down for a minute too. He walked off on his own power, but he didn't come back. So we got to keep tabs on what's going on with that. Hopefully it's not anything serious. Also, the Spurs were nearly at full strength tonight, boss. Harrison Barnes was held out for this game. I think he was the only one that was missing. And then Ron Holland as well left this game, and we'll get to that as well as far as why he didn't return. He got hit in the face. didn't return to the game. Wasn't a great night at all, man. Not a good night at all. But if you guys missed it again, of course, the starters were the usual: Cade Cunningham, Duncan Robinson, Ausar Thompson, Tobias Harris, and JD. Guys, the poll is live for the reason for this loss. And boss, in case you cannot see it, the options are slow start, shooting, foul trouble, and losing to a better team. So we'll let that go, right? A lot of candidates. But we'll definitely get to that. Mecklemore says Spurs are a good team. Yep. Play without Ausar, Duren. Yep. All factual things. All factual things. I don't know how much it would have changed the outcome, to be real. But those things are variables that went into this game. So we'll get to that. We'll check back on the poll after we do some initial thoughts, boss. Anything else before we get to initial? If not, you can just go ahead and chime in on initial thoughts, boss. What you got?
Yeah, no, nothing else. But I guess I'll say my initial thoughts were, I definitely thought that we would have this win after the last game. I thought that, we would adjust well. The Spurs are obviously a great team. They've been on a win streak, but Wemby has been a little off. So I thought if we held him down, of course, the game that he chooses to come back and play fantastically is this one. But yeah, it was a tough watch. We got down early, and I personally think that was our biggest issue, because I think that we played pretty equal for the rest of the game. The Spurs still definitely outshot us. They had they seemed almost flawless for the majority of the game, but I do feel like if we didn't dig such a hole so early, this could have been a little bit closer. We couldn't pull within less than 10, less than 8 a few times. But so getting down, getting out and not having the energy, or the closeouts were a little bit rough early, but otherwise the Spurs were just hitting their shots. Everything that they were putting up was falling. And so that's how, I think they had 8 threes in the first half or something like that, or close to the second, and 7 of 8 of those were in the first quarter. So the first quarter really crushed us. And we've talked about this. Like, we just want them to come out with energy. And it's something the Pistons it's just never really been a part of the Pistons identity for some reason. We've been a comeback team for a while, and we need to just, kind of start games off on our own tone and our own, but yeah, just put things into our game early.
Right.
That's just kind of how I feel. I do have, like I said, I have positives and negatives about a lot of players. But it's like, it's one of those games, like I have more positives about LeVert than I do about Cade. Like there was just some things that I'm like, I looking at my notes, I of course, I don't think anybody was 100% tonight. I think that there's good and bad to say about everybody and as a team. And then also just the Spurs, man. The Spurs are fun. Like Wemby, he drives like cat. That's like the only issue I have with him. I don't mind pump fakes because pump fakes have been in the league forever. But driving with your head is something that bothers me. And him and Cat both do it, and it drives me. If you're down low and you're driving with your head, I don't think you should ever have a foul called against you. Like
Jaylen Brown does that a lot too.
Looking at so that kind of upset me. And I think especially with Wemby taking the stage and like calling out ethical basketball, and then him playing in some areas where I'm just like, you're flailing, buddy. But I can't blame any of it on the refs tonight. I really can't.
I can't either. I mean, Cade only shot like once or twice, but
there were some calls that I'm like, okay, like no call that based on how you're calling other things. But like, I don't think it would have changed things at all for us. But yeah, the Spurs they're here. They're doing it. They're going to be guys. I mean, and I said this to Juice before we started, like we've lost to them twice this season, which sucks. They're the second West team to sweep us besides the Clippers, but they've beaten OKC 3 times. Like, so if you want to look at that aspect, like they've beaten basically the number 1 teams in both conferences, which just speaks value into who they are as a team. And the fact that we were able to, not get blown out. They blew out the Sixers by like 30. Like, the fact that we weren't able to get blown out speaks to something, especially with how hot, right?
40 ball, right? Wasn't that a 40 ball?
Close to 40. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay. That says something. It says something to me. It shows that we still put in effort. I commend JB putting in some other guys and trying things, because that has been a criticism of him of like, we have these guys on our bench. Why won't you try them? And we did get to see some minutes from some guys like Huerter and Sass. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. And also, like, I think it's stung a little bit more because the Knicks just beat the Spurs. But guys, if any Knicks fans bother you, just remind them that it's the regular season, and by their standards, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it don't matter. They lost by like 80 plus combined points to us, so
Yeah.
they just said it don't matter, so they can't go
And
now.
if they want to beat the Spurs, they have to get to the finals, which means they would have to go through us, which means
That's not happening.
yeah. But that's
They
kind of
still
where
gotta
I'm
see
at.
us. Okay.
Still a bummer loss. Always a bummer, especially to lose back to back. It's something we're not used to, which is crazy again to say after we came off of a season where we lost 28 in a row.
Yeah.
Or 2 seasons ago. But it's it is what it is, and this is another learning experience through this kind of little slump we're having. This kind of we're not as connected as we were earlier, I would say.
Yeah.
If-
Yeah, I have a lot to say, boss.
Yes.
It's not all doom. I'm not all doom and gloom. I'm just being completely honest, right? I talk great when they play great, and I keep it a stack when when it's not a great game, when it's not a good matchup or whatever. So I'm gonna be completely transparent, and you can bounce off whatever I have to say about it. The Pistons play hard. They played hard tonight. I liked the effort for most of the game. Well, like they tried to compete, they tried to be physical, they tried to execute the game plan. But they just ran into the Spurs are a bad matchup for the Pistons.
They are.
They're a bad matchup. The Pistons were never in control of this game, boss. I don't think they ever led in this game. They kept fighting. They tried to stay attached scoreboard wise. They were just overwhelmed by the Spurs on both sides. I think the Spurs are just better than the Pistons right now. I think they're just a little bit better than the Pistons right now. They may be the best team in the league right now, the way they look. They've looked dominant, like you mentioned, boss, against the champs all season. So it's not a slight to say that I think that. But the Pistons and the Spurs, they play very similar styles. They want to play the same way. All the things you heard JB say about the Pistons as far as playing with physicality, that's what the Spurs coach, Mitch Johnson, that's what he wants from his Spurs. And it's interesting because take a look at this graphic here, boss. Just check this out. Look at how similar these stats are. These are season stats.
Truly. No, I was going to say,
right?
Before you even brought this up, when you made your first point of like a bad matchup, it's because they're so similar. And it's when the Spurs, just like if we were shooting hot from 3, it'd be a different story. The Spurs were hot tonight, guys. And if you look at their last 2 games, despite them pulling out wins, they haven't been as great as they played against us tonight. They were all in sync tonight with us.
Right.
I mean, that's actually freaking insane, especially even the 3-point field goal percentage, because that's the first thing you could call us out on.
100%.
They're only 1% ahead of us when that's the first thing you kind of think of is them being hot against us. We just happen to be that team. Like, it's almost like, guys, like how we've struggled against the Bucks, how we struggled against the Heat, how we struggled against certain teams in years. It seems like now we have to add the Spurs to that list. The Spurs kind of are that team that match up well against us, and that's when they play their best basketball, unfortunately.
So the biggest difference between that graphic, like between the two teams, is that on one side offensively, the Spurs, they have more capable shooters and more capable scorers than the Pistons do right now. And then defensively, they don't have any weaknesses at any position. They don't have any matchups you can go hunt. There are mismatches that Tobias can consistently try to get to in the half court. Cade can't bully smaller guards. They're not soft on the perimeter. They're not soft in the paint. They don't have any weaknesses anywhere. So when they're clicking, you got to pretty much play a perfect game to beat them. You can't make mistakes. They're very complete. And that's why they're the only team this year that has beaten us by double digits more than once.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And also, guys, like they are complete and they are young, just like us, but they've had a little bit more consistency through their lineups as well. Mitch Johnson did come in as their head coach, but he's been an assistant coach for them for years now. And like Dylan Harper is a new rookie who happens to fit in very well with their scheme, but like they've definitely had more time together to develop this. I mean, even with Wemby healthy, they were a lower team. They're basically us in the West, truly. And so, but it is just a little bit of them figuring some stuff out. And they were able to just get there a little better. And it was home court advantage. And they just had things, like you said, they just had things that they basically were just on. They were in sync. Everybody was hitting for them. They didn't really have a weak link on the floor at any time. I wouldn't even say that we did, but even our good shooters weren't draining shots. That includes Kenny, that includes Dunk. Like there were just some shots, some wasted possessions when we did get stops, we didn't capitalize. So just some little things. They're all fixable. I think even with this group that we have. And so that's at least, what makes me feel good about it. But the Spurs are going to make a run this year. And even they are doubted in the media. The Spurs are paired with the Pistons when the media is talking about like, oh, but like there's no way the Spurs or Pistons will win the championship or go to the finals because they're too young. They don't have experience. All that. Like they're in the same group as us. But when they play like that, I could see it. But that also shows that they don't always play like that, just like we don't always play like this. So a series against them would be tough, but a series against them would mean the finals. So
Yeah.
how can I argue with that?
We got some Spurs fans in the building too. So
it.
you guys are allowed to gloat. Y'all won. That's the rule. If you win, you can gloat. Right? That's the rule. You keep it stacked.
I'm sure the Spurs fans don't know this, but if any of you know me, I've been a Spurs fan this season, which is so hard to swallow because I'm a fan from the early 2000s when the Spurs were genuinely our rivals.
I wasn't a fan of them then, but I'm with you.
I wasn't a fan of them back then. No. But I'm a fan of them now. I really love, I do like Wemby. I don't love it. Again, I don't love what he's developed with some of his flails.
Well, foul baiting.
Yeah, just a little bit. Don't love that. Yeah. And especially, but it's just if you're going to speak out against it, don't be hypocritical. It's kind of my thing.
Facts.
But I love Castle. I love Vassell. I love Harper. Keldon Johnson's pulling it out. Julian Champagny can shoot from 3. You never want to leave him open. They got Carter Bryant, I think is his name too. Mm-hmm. He came out of nowhere and is good. So all the respect to the Spurs. So all you Spurs fans know that you have our respect and go from there.
No, for sure. Very good team. Very good team. Yeah, shout out to Chris. Chris is he's an honorable fan, it looks like. So yeah, for sure. Shout out to that. So getting back to that graphic, right, boss?
Yes.
With the stats. Mm-hmm. The Spurs, as you mentioned, are shooting 35% from 3 this year. In the first meeting, they shot 45% against us. And we did not guard well at all on the perimeter. So you got to stay in front. You know that. You got to stay in front. When there are breakdowns, when they do happen, you got to rotate. You got to be crisp with that or they'll kill you. But the thing is, tonight, they only shot 35%. They shot their average tonight.
Yeah.
But they were good in so many other areas because, once again, they're complete that it didn't matter. Even things like the rebounding was even. That was 44 to 46. The free throw shooting was identical, 24 for 30. The turnovers were the same, 10 to 9. But here's the thing. The Pistons got outscored 52-36 in the paint. Mm-hmm. They only had 12 points in transition, and the Spurs had 11 blocks to the Pistons 4. So, guys, it wasn't the shooting because the Pistons actually outshot them, at least from 3 ball. They outshot us better from 2, but from 3, we outshot them by a wide margin. But what the Pistons do best, the Spurs also do best. They have a lot more talent across the board on both sides. So, and they have it for more guys. So they've got more room for error when they have off nights. That's why Wemby's able to get 10 points and they beat the Sixers by 40. That's why he's able to only have 21 last game and they still beat by double digits. They're just a little bit bigger and better on both sides of the ball. They kind of meet us at what we're best at. And that's the problem. So I think right now they're ahead of the Pistons right now. I think honestly, like, a case can be made they're the best team in the league right now. And that's cool. It's okay. Like, because we all know the Pistons are not a finished product yet. Mm-hmm. We're not at our pinnacle yet. So it's okay to say this team is better, that team is better. They're ahead of us. But I do think it's good for the Pistons to have games like this, to play teams like this.
Oh,
so they can stay hungry, they can stay humble, and they can stay focused on getting better, player-wise and front office-wise, roster-wise. They can continue to focus on making adjustments so they can get better and not just kind of rest on their laurels because they're not there yet. And that's okay.
And this year too, and they also have gone through their own transitions and building within and making trades. Like they brought in De'Aaron Fox, like that's new to them after, they have this young talent that they've been building. And I do agree. It just happened to be that they were on point in all areas. Like we played better than our first matchup, but so did they. Like the way that we played tonight, we would have won our first matchup against them last week. I truly do believe that because we were able to maintain and hold some people. And tonight, the Spurs are dangerous because they're a great defensive team, but also when someone is lacking, whether it's Wemby, whether it's Fox, then they got other people that can pick it up, like Castle and Vassell. And like we do have that on our team. Like we have guys like Jenkins and Ron and stuff that can help carry it. but unfortunately, like Jenkins' shot was off tonight. Ron got injured, even though he was hot. So we do have that. But the Spurs were able to just really, connect to that tonight within their team and be able to deliver. I mean, it was a good game. Like, I don't know. It was a good game by the Spurs. And again, like I said, I think it would have been a little bit at least equal matched if we didn't get in such a hole in the first. I think it would have been a closer game throughout. I think I can't say that we would have won, but we definitely would have. It wouldn't have been a double-digit deficit most of the way. I think that after the first and the last couple minutes of the second, we would have, if those runs didn't happen, it would have been at least, a 4 or 5 game throughout. It was good back and forth basketball after some of the early sluggishness. So that I can appreciate. And I mean, this Spurs team, it's gonna be exciting to see what they do. It's gonna be tough. And again, like they're, it's kind of like, okay, well, they're not in our conference, so that's nice. But if we do match up against them, there's stuff that we need to work on. We need to figure out. And Wemby, he's gonna be around for basically the tenure of all of
hopefully a long time. Like I want him in the league for a long time.
Exactly. And again, like his floppiness, anything flailing is annoying, but like he's a great 3-point shooter. He can handle the ball, obviously a great defender. He gets the job done. He can sneak behind. He's so tall. He's 7'4" and he can sneak behind defenses for the dunk. Like he's
running him off curls, bro. Like running him off screens sometimes. It's like, what
very
do you
athletic big and exciting for the league. A great again, this next gen coming up, which includes a lot of our guys as well, is just so exciting. So
I wanted to get to this quickly. A couple comments I want to get to that from Kevin. Kevin says the Pistons are not alone. Spurs have dominated OKC this year too. Wemby isn't fair. I think you may need a team like the Warriors had a few years ago to beat a team like that. You got to make the defense move and make Wemby come out of the paint. And see, that's what I was saying before. I think stylistically, I think matchup wise, it's just a problem for us right now because what don't we have that the Warriors had? Shooting. They can shoot the ball consistently. They can kill you and blow the game open quickly because of their shooting. So if you're able to get penetration, if you're able to get to the cup and you're able to make those guys scramble, you got guys who can knock down shots. And now you're going to make them rethink their whole defense. So I just think for us matchup wise, because we can't shoot the ball well, it plays right into their hands because everything for us is in the interior and they can match us in the interior because of a guy like Wemby. It's just hard to deal with.
Absolutely. And guys, like we've reiterated this basically every show. Yes, the Pistons need another shooter that they can rely on the perimeter. There were a couple times today where Wemby did collapse. Who got it? I think it was Dunk or someone got it.
He hit a few threes. Yeah, he hit a few this game.
Someone got a 3 because Wemby collapsed because Cade was able to drive it in and then kick it out, which is also how the Spurs play their game. They have a bunch of perimeter shooters, and if Wemby or someone can drive it in and kick it out, it's beautiful. And so that did work for us on a couple occasions tonight, but yes, this is another game that kind of just shows that we need a glaring second option that can, put up points consistently with Cade. But that's just reiterated. But again, just like Kevin said too, that's how you beat a team like that. Is you have obviously we're still the best team in scoring in the paint, so if their defense is smart, they're going to collapse on us when we're in the paint. And so bringing in that second option or bringing in more 3-point shooters to get that done is going to be huge. And that's how you beat Wemby. Yeah, absolutely. And then we did get Wemby into foul trouble, just a little bit too spread out. Did end up with fouls. That's a positive.
But like you said, spread out through the game.
Yeah, because the last game he didn't have that many fouls and we were being attacked. So this game we did foul trouble is another way to get him out there and have to rest him a little bit. But yes, exactly how I feel too. It's good. Wemby, man.
Just going back to the Spurs offensive firepower too, though. You look at a guy like this is just talking about how many they have a lot of weapons, right? De'Aaron Fox in that first game, he had 10 points.
It's crazy.
He had 18 in the first quarter. Tonight.
Disgusting.
18 of their 38. For De'Aaron Fox, and he had 10. So he pretty much doubled his output last game in one quarter tonight. So you can see the Spurs made a concerted effort to make sure they got him involved in this game, and that opened up everything else because that was not what happened last game. They just got a lot of weapons, man. You got to account for them. You got to account for a lot offensively, and then defensively they got a ton of big physical guys they can throw at you. at the perimeter with Cade, they got Vassell and Castle and Harper, all these guys who can make it tough on Cade in the perimeter. And if he's able to get to the paint, he's got to either rely on a guy to knock down a shot who hasn't been reliable consistently as far as all of our guys in the perimeter this year, or he's got to try to finish or make a drop pass to Wemby. Either are tough because he's just so long. He can anticipate the pass and he can block the shot. So it's tough. It's a really tough matchup for the Pistons. And then lastly, boss, I still don't understand why we're not seeing JD and Stu on the court together, mixed in with Paul Reed more against this team of all teams. And I said it last game against the Cavs. I said it tonight. I'm going to keep saying it. Okay. I don't understand why they're not playing together. I got to see that two big lineup. We saw the Pistons show some fight in that third quarter when guess who came into the game with Kevin Huerter. That rhymed, don't hate the player of the game. But I applaud the Pistons for not packing it in because they went down 20 in the third quarter. They could have just packed it in and it could have been a 30, 35, just like the Sixers, 35, 40-point loss, right? But that's the difference between us and the Sixers, right? They continued to fight. They continued to try to get stops, and that helped them get that lead down. They were down 22 in the third. They cut the lead down to 8. And the big part of that was because Paul Reed, his impact in the game, and even a little Kevin Huerter. But I got to see more of those big guys together. You even saw Paul Reed at times trying to inspire his guys. It was a play where he got upset with his teammates, with some of his guys, because he was fighting with Wemby over the ball, trying to get the loose ball. It was getting tipped around everywhere. And it was like 3 other Spurs that were with him and no other Pistons that was with Paul Reed. And Reed's like, what's up? Like, where y'all at? Like, come back. Like, help me. Like, come back. You know what I mean? So, like, I felt like his energy and effort, like, just from up here, it just inspires guys. So I'm like, why aren't we seeing more Stu and JD together against this big, against this alien? Especially when you got a guy like Paul Reed who can just continue to. I thought Paul Reed played better for most of his. He played better than JD tonight.
Yep.
Played better than JD. I mean, he was on the floor more, but I didn't feel like much was really missing when Paul Reed was in the game tonight. So I just felt like, the game kind of shifted away from the Pistons when they had that lead down to 8. And Caris LeVert had a nice lay at the rim, but it got blocked by Bryant, and they came down and scored. And that was followed by a Wemby block on Cade, and he came down and had a lob dunk. So, but I felt like Paul Reed in that third quarter was really pivotal to us playing more. I don't know why we didn't see him in the first half. He didn't play at all in the first half, at all. So I'm like, I like JB trying things, but I don't think that's one of the things you should be trying. I think that should be a thing that's part of the game plan from the start of the game, because you need to have just guys who can just foul them. You need fouls, you need bodies, you need guys to get on the boards, crash the boards, make it tough, make it physical, make it dirty. And I just felt like they kind of didn't take advantage of Paul Reed, especially in that first half when we really could have used him.
I agree with your take on Paul Reed, because when JB got his fouls, I was low-key like, okay, we're going to see Paul Reed tonight. I got excited because B-ball Paul, he brings a different kind of energy. I don't know what it is. I have to say, I think, and this is, again, just goes into age, and I think JD is not far behind him, but B-ball Paul does have a slightly higher IQ at this point in his career than JD does. But B-ball Paul is
like defensively or both sides, you think?
Both sides. I think he makes the right decision without having to think too hard. It just almost comes. It seems more natural to him. And JD does have natural talents, but he just needs more. It's just a little,
more raw ability versus. Okay, gotcha.
Exactly. And but again, they're like 3 or 4 years apart from each other. Like this is JD. It's not a slight to JD, just more of like. When I see B-ball Paul in, I know he's going to make the right decision most of the time, and JD too, but in different ways. But that's a good point, because why wait until we're in foul trouble to bring him in and know that he's going to do good, but just instead just rotate all the guys and let them equally foul, like let them equally show their thing. So let's get to this comment from Mike. He said, Spurs fan here. What's up, Mike? Knicks give us trouble because they dominate the offensive board. You guys need to play too big sometimes. Agreed. And also,
I've been saying all year, but
here's the thing with that too is like
Mike.
Mike, as a Spurs fan, you'll probably appreciate this take more too. Is like we're a little bit more consistent in our bigs. I think they give consistent stuff, and Cat is on and off, and it happened to be a Cat heavy game and a Wemby not heavy game. The Spurs are also young guys, so like when they lose, it's truly because they're just something about their youth. Like either Stephon has a lot of turnovers or Wemby's not hitting his shots. Like it's something about that. Just like us, we're like the Knicks, they have all the talent that they can, and so it's almost like they should win those games. It makes sense, but I would take the Spurs in a 7-game series over the Knicks. automatically. But I think that game also just came down to the Spurs lacking some shooting, some of their own things, and then the Knicks happened to be at like 100%, which they're very rarely at this season. So.
Yeah, and to Mike's point though, like I do notice, the Knicks deploying Cat with Mitchell Robinson, at just going bigger, just going bigger, right? Just the more physicality you can throw at a guy like Wemby who's tall and not really strong, you got to take advantage of it. And I think that's a huge deal to have a big inside-outside game that at times can crash the glass and when you need it, like, but when you got a big who can pull Wemby out of the paint, like you saw Cat doing that. You see that. So it's like when you got that, because Stu can shoot it too, not like Cat, but Stu can shoot. He made some threes tonight. So it's like when you got that there, why are you trying to have JD Bang by himself or Stu by himself or Paul Reed by himself with Tobias or whoever else? It's like you're playing it to their hands. In my opinion, you're playing it to their hands, and you got these guys you can utilize and make it tougher.
Such a good point, because B-Ball Paul and Isaiah Stewart can both shoot it from three. Exactly. Duren can't, but that's basically what the Knicks have. Cat can shoot threes and Mitchell Robinson can't. So when they're in together, Mitchell Robinson is at the rim, and that's where Duren would be, and Paul Reed or Isaiah Stewart would be a big on the other end. And again, I think Paul Reed even would thrive with Duren, because even if Paul Reed has to stay on the perimeter because of his basketball IQ. And Stu obviously drained. He was like one of our most efficient shooters tonight from three. So they definitely can. So I do agree with that. I'm curious, I thought that we would see it more. We saw a couple lineups tonight that surprised me in terms of how good they were. Like Duncan and Huerter together actually was a positive.
I thought it was pretty good. I ain't gonna lie.
That's kind of crazy. Like those guys can move. Those guys they were pesky. They're pesky.
Yep.
And so I enjoyed that. But so if you're tinkering with lineups, why not throw in two bigs at once? But it was almost too late since he didn't start it right away. It was almost too late by the time that JD got into foul trouble to play a two big lineup.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the whole point. Because once that happens, now you can't. You're already thin. But like I said before, you play those guys together, maybe neither of those guys get in foul trouble because they can help each other, right? So of all the changes that he made, I'm like, why didn't he make that one? Because I was thinking that before the game started. Before, it's like, let's see what we got here and there because we're struggling. I'm like, to start the game, let's right away, against that guy. So I don't know. That's confused. Like I say, JB knows more than we all do. But for me, I'm just not understanding why that's not being deployed against this team. Maybe it's being saved for the playoffs. I don't know. Maybe who knows? But it just makes sense now to kind of get the rotation tight if you can with those kind of lineups, because you can play that lineup against anybody. It isn't like you can only play them against the Spurs and you can play those two guys together, those two bigs together against anybody, and you can impose your will like the Spurs do. Right. So I don't know.
I agree.
I don't know.
If before we get into some box scores, you want to get some comments? You guys are like flying in, so we'll try to.
Yeah. Any UC boss? Any UC on your radar? Because I can look too.
Oh my goodness.
We see y'all coming in hot, man. Like I said, if we miss y'all, we trying to get to all these comments. We doing our best.
Yes.
It's a ton of comments.
I got this one from Landlord from Alabama. The only thing that can beat my Spurs is physicality, crashing the boards, and making your threes. You got to be good shooting to beat us for real. I agree.
Bad matchup.
Because you guys are good at defense. That's kind of what it is. When you're an equally, like I was just talking to Deuce, my Nuggets are playing the Lakers right now. That's two teams that don't play defense. So it's kind of a shootout at that point. But when you got two teams that can play defense going against each other, that also becomes a shootout because they're equal on one end. So it's got to be who breaks that in the other end.
Who's going to impose a will? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's a bad matchup because we didn't take advantage of the physicality, and we were not really a good three-point shooting team, and we know that. So yeah, it's interesting to see so many Spurs fans in here. I ain't mad. It's interesting to get you guys take. Zion says Spurs are a great team, just have to game plan better, and Trajan Landing is going to have a lot of work to do. This offseason is going to be important, guys. We talked about that. This offseason is going to be key. But once again, he said it's an evaluation year, and this is why this is the benefit of it, because it's going to be staring us in the face at the end of the season, if it's not already, what we need to do and how we need to get there, right? Games like this, playing teams like this, series like this against Western Conference teams, if we're trying to get to the finals, these games are going to teach us what we can expect to see going forward and how we can combat that. So I'm glad that these things are kind of showing themselves now to be glaring. So that way, come off season, there's no doubt about what you need. We all have our ideas about what we think we need more. It's good to see it in real time. So that way there's no doubt left. And since we have a young team, long window, big window, we can make the changes needed and not rush anything. So
yeah,
I agree. All right.
Even the Spurs fans out there or in our chat, everything, the Spurs are a good team, and this is a team to lose to. Like we're not losing to the middle of the road teams. Like we're losing to the good teams, and everything is fixable. Whether it's, I do think that it's fixable within the lineup that we do have now. In the time frame we have, I don't know. But I also do think that these will be things that are going to be addressed in the offseason as well. And a lot of people, I saw a couple comments in here, like we should have done more at the deadline. Like, and Deuce and I have touched on this a little bit. And I think the consensus is more just like, there are people that weren't available for us. And so why would we give away some assets for in a middle of the ground when we can give more away of our assets in the offseason for a better fit for us? Especially when we know that this year was kind of a surprise for everybody. Like, obviously we have good players, but we're far exceeding expectations. I think Spurs fans can relate to that. You guys had a great team last year as well, but like you guys, we're all just like on the up in young teams, because you don't see a lot in the NBA. And that just reiterates my point about people kind of being against both the Spurs and the Pistons making the finals. Like, oh, they're too young, they're inexperienced. Like, well, they're out here doing it regardless.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah, for sure. All right, boss, let's get to some initial thoughts. And let's start with none other than Cade Cunningham in his game, boss. Tonight, Cade finished with team high 26 points on 10 for 26 shooting, 4 for 7 for 3, 2 from the free throw line, 4 boards, 8 assists, 4 turnovers in 39 minutes. I know he was gassed into that game. What did you see tonight from Cade, boss? What stood out?
Yeah, I know some people took offense to my being like, I have more positives to say about LeVert than Cade. It's just relative. Like, Cade obviously is a great player, but there were just some things like 26 points is obviously, you know, that's a good stat line. But this past week, you know, this is when the way that the MVP is working right now, because I know he has his bid for that, and I do still think he deserves, you know, at least third place right now. But like guys like Luka, Shea, Jokic, like they against great teams, they're really turn up their volume. And Cade just struggled in some areas tonight. This is the first time he hasn't had a double-double for us in a while. His 4 for 7 from 3 was fantastic. He did hit some late. His turnovers again were at the worst times.
Some of them were just careless. I think he was feeling the pressure. I think he was feeling the pressure on some of those too.
I agree. But it's just been like his turnovers overall all season have been pretty good, but he's been averaging like 4 to 6 the past.
You think he's tired? Because he's been playing some heavy minutes the past couple weeks. I'm not making excuses. I'm looking at how many he usually plays.
I could see that only because, and tonight Daniss had closer to 15, and no, it wasn't Daniss' night at all, but like,
yeah, we've
seen in the past few games that Daniss hasn't even come in for long. It's been low. So when you can't rely on your backup like that and you rely on him so much, yeah, I do think he's tired. But you know, Wemby also played 39 minutes tonight and they're different players, but he pretty much, definitely outranked him.
Different responsibilities, you know.
So then that's just what
a lot more on his plate. You know,
and I think it just seems like he started off tired last week and he's just been pushing through. And after tonight, our schedule gets much more manageable and there's kind of no excuses. Like if we pull out a loss against the Nets or something, that's going to frustrate me.
Oh, well, yeah, for sure.
Because those are teams that we know we are better than.
Yeah, I'm not suspecting that, but I hear what you're saying.
Exactly. Not expected, but like when you have such good teams, like Spurs, Cavs, OKC, Cavs, Spurs, like that's tough. It's just
for sure.
These are teams that are good teams for a reason. They're good teams because their stars, you know, they play 48 minutes of basketball. It's been a hard 2 weeks of basketball for the Pistons. And again, it's not an excuse because we have playoffs coming up. This is what good teams do. But you know, obviously I think, you know, in moments like this, Cade needs to either be playmaking a little better or scoring higher, you know, and it's not like this stat line is not atrocious, but it's just he hasn't looked completely like himself, and so it's just there. But some positives I have, some positive notes that I wrote down. So in the second, he hit a 3 to start the quarter. Tried to get it going right away after a poor first quarter team-wise. In the third, he had 2 air balls in a row. And it was right after Jenkins' air ball. And I was like, what?
Good defense, man. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Absolutely. But also, like, those air balls didn't come at, like, 2 seconds on the shot clock either.
Right.
You know?
I got you.
He had a great assist to B-ball Paul Dunk in the third. He made the tech free throw. When I saw him go up for the tech, because I was just like, no, not Cade. But he got it. In the fourth, he had a 4-point play, which almost makes up for him fouling Champagny on a 3-pointer.
Yeah.
There were just little things.
I was gonna call that out because I always call those out. But go ahead, you got it.
You got it. Always call them out.
Yeah.
That was just momentum. So it wasn't, that happens to the best of them. Anybody could get those kind of calls. So that's a little bit more forgivable than like if you're man to man with that guy and you foul him. That was straight up momentum, trying not to. But yeah, the Cade I think needed to step up in a few ways, but he was also shut down in a lot of ways too by the Spurs defense. So
yeah.
Below average stat line for Cade only because I consider him, just like I always hold Jokic to a triple-double standard, I kind of hold Cade to a double-double standard, and he did not hit that tonight. So that's kind of where I'm at with him. And also no stocks. No stocks from our favorite two-way guard. But that is one thing. They said at the beginning of the game that Cade actually leads the league. And he has 42.8% of field goals defended, and that's the most by a guard.
Say it again.
42.8% of field goals defended. He defends 42.8% of field goals, and that's the most by an NBA guard.
Wow.
Yes.
So you got to be in shape, man, to do that and to do what you do offensively.
Like you said, tired too, because the Spurs, especially when you got to rotate on them, they're not letting go. Like this was the Spurs were practically flawless tonight. Like they really, there was like when we had to get stops and stack them, I felt it impossible. Because the way the Spurs were playing, not the way that we were defending, but the way the Spurs were playing, it was hard to stack stops. So, that also just goes into you thinking that, maybe he was just potentially a little tired.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just like we always say, boss, you can tell how he's feeling physically when he's getting those stocks, when he's getting those steals and blocks, when he's active, when he's moving his feet. And I felt like he was trying, like we saw him diving for loose balls. I think he fought Dylan Harper and they overturned the call when Dylan Harper knocked it out of bounds and Cade was diving to the floor trying to get the ball. So like he was trying. It's just a lot to ask, man. He's got a heavy usage offensively, and then to have to strap up defensively and stop all those guys on the perimeter, man, who are also physical, like to play physical, who are also big and strong, right? They're not as strong as him, but they're big and strong. It's just a lot to ask from one guy on both sides of the ball when they've got a team full of guys who can do a lot of different things very, very well. It's a lot to ask. So it makes sense why he would press at times, right? But so last game he shot 5 for 26. So at least tonight he doubled his makes. He went 10 for 26. So it's still not great. But he had to rebound from that last performance. But this was better, but he still struggled. I thought tonight he really tried to do the right things though. I felt like he tried to be more physical, use that to his advantage, and it paid off at times. He was really trying to get things done in the mid-range, so he did a good job there. But the Spurs, they just match up well against him, man. On the perimeter, they're tough, and then in the paint, they're tough. So even before he's able to even get to the paint, like Castle and like I mentioned, Vassell and Harper, they're just big, man, big and physical guys. So when he tried to, even in outside of the half court, when he was trying to push the ball off misses and stops, it seemed like somebody was always back there. Their transition defense was there. They weren't giving up a ton of run-out layups and dunks that we were accustomed to being able to do to teams. They don't do that. They know what the game plan is against us in the half court and in transition. So they get back defensively. They don't give you easy points like that. So, and in the half court, we saw it too, boss. Like, even if Wemby's not blocking shots, we always talk about Isaiah Stewart, how just him being there. We've seen plays this year where we see guys like LaMelo look to drive to the rim, and he can see Stewart in his rear view, and he pivots and he turns it over. Stewart didn't block the shot, but LaMelo knew he was there. He was lurking. So if think about Wemby, he's 7'4", and he is doing what he's doing defensively. So he has the same effect. And we saw it on a play when Cade had a lane to the rim, but he kind of smoked the layup because he was trying to make sure he got it on the glass. So
Mhm.
Wemby couldn't block it. And because he tried to just get it on the glass, he missed the layup that he almost always makes. So just Wemby's presence in the lane is tough. It's a lot to deal with on all three levels, of the floor. So I thought that was really hard for him. So at the end of the day, though, I do give him credit because tonight in that fourth quarter, he fought tooth and nail to try to put this team on his back, to backpack this team, say, get on my back, and let me try to get us back into this game. And he did a very admirable job of trying to do that. Just wasn't enough. They just had too many weapons, and it was just a little bit too late. He even had a 4-point play late, right? He was really trying to get fired up, get the guys into the game, just trying to will his team to a win. So I'm not even going to fault him on the effort. He just didn't. It's not a great matchup for him. It's not a good matchup. So it's just like they got to continue to try to find ways with the team they have now to help him be effective. It's not going to be easy, but they got to try to continue to find ways to do it. But I got to give him credit for trying because if anything, he didn't pack it in. You didn't see him on the bench just chilling. He was out there trying to get this team back into the game and get him the dub. Just didn't work out.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it too. Like the effort, I focus more on the box score and just some things I saw from him, but the effort was apparent and it was there throughout. I think it's just because we haven't seen him really just have the game of his life. And it's just been a tough game. It's been a tough stretch for the Pistons. And it was all just happened to happen at the same time. I think if, Cavs and Spurs and OKC were spread out, over the season, it might have been a different, outcome. Who knows? But this was a tough stretch. It's what they learned from. None of them are content with it. It also is not, the end all be all. It's not, oh, we lost to the Spurs. Our season is over. We're accomplishing nothing this offseason. No. Yeah. Right. And again, at least the Thunder have lost them 3 times. The Thunder, guys, who are a very, very difficult team to beat. Incredibly difficult.
And they weren't a bunch of guys out when they lost to them either. Like those guys were playing shade. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And like you said, we were healthy too, which, is of course just makes it just a little bit worse. But who knows if Ausar, and Ron going out could have swayed things. I think it definitely, Ausar had some good defensive plays in the 2 minutes that he did play.
He did actually. We'll get to that too.
So who knows? So we will get to it, but
let's get to Dom. Let's get to Dom. Our guy Dom coming through. Per usual. What up, though, bro? Dom says foul trouble. Ausar and Ron leaving injured. Cade inefficient, and I'm still a little disappointed. Want to see full business mode on Saturday? No BS. That's what you said, boss. I'm not a LeVert guy, so give Huerter his minutes a few games. Man, you said a mouthful, bro. So the foul trouble. I didn't really feel like that was really an issue. Well, for JD, yes. If that's what you mean, yes, 100%. JD has to be better. Some of those fouls, we'll get to that. Some of those foul calls, and JD was like, "Come on, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, really." It's interesting because coach left him in the game when he had 3 fouls in the second quarter, I believe, and maybe first quarter. I can't remember, but he had 3 fouls, and we've seen Cade before have 3 fouls and get in foul trouble, and he's like, "I got it, coach. I ain't gonna get no more." And we've seen Cade finish the game with the same amount of fouls he had when he picked that one up, right? It seemed like JD was trying to give JD some of that rope because first of all, he needed him, but also he wants to instill that trust too. But it didn't pay off because JD picked up another one just like that and had to sit for the rest of the half. So I'm with you, Dom, on that for sure. As far as Ausar and Ron, I think Ausar being out hurt. It hurt. It definitely hurt. I don't think it would have changed the outcome. I don't think if either of those, I think if both of those guys are still there, they still win. I do. I think they just played a better game. But I do think that played a part in it, and guys had to step up. As far as Cade, Cade didn't play great. He tried his best. He gave a lot of effort in this game. It was very inspiring basketball. It wasn't great basketball, but it was inspired basketball. I want to see full business mode on Saturday. Yeah, we just talked about that, boss. Like, we definitely don't want to see them lay an egg on Saturday because then it's like, okay, where are you guys' heads at? Like, okay, you lost to some good teams on the stretch. You lost to the Cavs. Okay, two in a row. You lost to the Spurs twice. Okay, but now we're looking at teams who are. It's like, okay, we're going from one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum. So it's like you're playing the best team in black and white versus the worst team in black and white. You shouldn't be losing to the Brooklyn Nets. So I'm with you there as well, bro. And then lastly, you can chime in, boss. I'm not a LeVert guy, so give Huerter his minutes a few games. I totally am for that. I am totally for that. That was one of the first things I wrote down about Huerter is I want to see him more. And it's surprising because we were kind of like, was he just kind of brought here just for a contract, right? For expiring contract. But who knows? Maybe they could be saving him for the playoffs. Maybe we can get a different wrinkle with that second unit with him there. So check. Dom, per usual. You know your ball, bro. Appreciate you as always, man. What's your thoughts on that, boss?
I agree. Especially with Huerter. I mean, we brought it up a couple episodes ago. Like he actually is like the highest this year in steals in pick sixes, which is steals in NBA terms, is a steal to a basket on the other end with the same guy. And we saw Huerter almost get one. He got a steal tonight. He seemed good. Again, I think him and Dunk and Jenkins were on the floor at the same time. And Deuce especially is like, brought up size and the issue. And that's kind of like almost like a scary lineup, but it actually works. So, and I think it's just the hustle of all three of those guys on both ends. So I do agree with that. And LeVert, I know, he didn't put anything on the board for us. I think Huerter had a better overall game than him, but LeVert didn't hurt us in any way either tonight. So it's just hard for me to, I'm just not going to rag on him. But I also just want to talk about Cade as well, because I know I saw some comments too. Someone said I didn't watch the game. If I'm just going off a box score, like, I watch the games very diligently. And to me, it's just more like as somebody who, it's just more because I've heard people like this knocks Cade out of the MVP race. These couple of weeks have been tough on him.
No one game does that.
Agree with that, but I also can see why you're saying that, because SGA and Jokic do turn it on when they're down, and Cade does, but he's still learning. He's younger than both those guys. He's still learning how to handle the pressure, where SGA and Jokic both have outgrown that part of their development. And can get it done with the pressure as well. That's all it is, guys. Like, obviously, I have nothing negative to say about Cade, only in the fact that, like, there were just a couple of things tonight even Jokic has done the same. Like, just some crucial turnovers. He ended with 26, which was great. He didn't get to the line as much as he should have. He just wasn't able to get through some of the defense of the Spurs. And it was something that we both wanted to see an adjustment from last game, but the Spurs were just able to keep it high on him. So all props to Cade for his effort. Props to this entire team for their effort. Honestly,
that's not the issue.
So that's where I'm at. And then, but yes, that's why I'll have to say thank you, Dom, for the super chat. Also, Clara, I admire Deuce and Boss for talking.
I'm just calling it honest, man. Like I'm never going to doom and gloom after one game, especially against a good team. Like I was watching the opposition tonight more than I usually do, because I like the Spurs. I was just kind of like watching how they play, watching how the ball was happening, watching how they're playing defense, how they're rotating on the string. I'm like, it's a good team, man. Like I wasn't really mad at this loss, because it's just like they just beat us. They just beat us. We could have played better, but so could they. But they just beat us.
We could have played better, but again, it goes back to that hole, and then the fact that like they were up by 20, and we didn't let it get out of control. We didn't let it get out. Even Greg Kelser talked about that. Like they were just kind of, for a lot of the game, it was more just maintenance on what we were doing, and like just making sure that it didn't get out of control. And that's kind of where it fell off. And I also wanted to get to Chris as well. I forgot my headphones and I'm at work and it's too noisy to hear all, so I'm gonna give you all this. Mister, that's a good team we lost to today, coach.
Exactly, bro.
Say that to everybody.
That's what it is. Tip the cap.
Comes in with the woo when we're talking about Javonte Green.
Yeah,
this applies to him, but this applies to everybody. It was a good team. The Spurs are a good team. So
that's why I'm not mad, boss. That's why I'm not tripping. It's like okay. Like I'm not. I don't think shout out to you, bro. I don't think anybody was anybody expecting the Pistons to be the best team this year? So it's like, okay, if we end up not being, all right.
I think he is a Cavs fan too, so this means a lot.
He was here last episode. Yeah. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to you, man. Any more comments you see, boss? Or we can go to Duncan. Before we go to Duncan, if you don't have any more,
guys, but oh my goodness.
Okay, you do that. I'm gonna check the poll.
Yeah, go for it.
So, guys, update on the poll as to the reason the Pistons lost his game tonight. 56%, boss, say lost to a better team. Slow start is at 18%. Shooting is at 17%, and foul trouble is at 10%. So I think most of us are in agreement that, hey, chalk it up.
Yeah.
Tip your cap. Yeah. Keep it moving. This is a team we have now. This is a team we got to go with going forward. So now it's about just trying to make the best out of this team. We could use more shoot, like things that are now under the bridge. for me now, I'm not going to talk about until we get to the point where we can actually do something about it.
Actually,
like whether you agree that we should have made moves or trade, you should have got this guy or that guy. Cool. I'm not saying you wrong. I'm not saying you wrong. But for me, the coulda, woulda, shoulda at this point, it's just gonna make me mad. So I'm just focused on how can we make these guys better. And then off season time, let's talk. Let's talk.
Just to go in a little bit, and hopefully it doesn't make you mad, but I just wanted to address this. I wanted MPJ or Laurie at deadline that could have made our offense more well-oiled.
Thanks, boss.
First of all,
appreciate you.
I just want to this is my favorite stat right now. This is my favorite stat in the NBA as an MPJ hater.
Take off.
He is bottom 5 in field goal percentage since the trade deadline. Tuesday, he went 0 for 9 from 3.
Yikes.
We're going to see it again on Saturday. This is just how he rolls. And again, this just reiterates my point. Like for MPJ or Laurie, we would have had to give up way more than those guys are worth to us. Right now, our chemistry, even though it feels a little bit off right now, our chemistry is one of our most valuable assets.
Yeah.
We would have just been able to give up Ivy for those guys. It would have been a bigger chunk of our team that has helped us and will continue to help us succeed this year. So let's jump off of those two and aim higher this offseason. Yeah.
Any more you see? Oh, we just got another super chat from our guy Dom coming back through. Dom says, full honesty, I'm a pure LeVert hater. No, you know what? Hey, I like how you own it, bro. Like you don't hide behind nothing. That like we don't always agree, but I respect that because you always stand on it. He says, I've never been a fan of his game. I believe he'd be frowning like Stefan seeing Django pull up the horse first time when I see him at the score table. He'd be like, that crazy Samuel L. Jackson, them Tony brothers eyebrows, bro. You be talking about? That's hilarious. Classic movie, bro. That's hilarious. Oh man, so we're gonna get to LeVert for sure, bro. For sure. Come back around. You ain't got a super chat, but come back around when we get to Caris, bro, because I want to get to some Caris comments as well. But I don't totally disagree with you on that. I do think we need to see some different looks. Maybe this was the game. The blessing in the sky, silver lining was that we got a chance to see some more Kevin Huerter, and now we can kind of see what he really can give us because this was a quality team and he played some quality minutes tonight. So I'm gonna leave it there for now, but we're gonna circle back down for sure. Appreciate you, my dog. All right, boss. Let's keep it pushing. Let's go to Duncan Robinson. So tonight, guys, Duncan Robinson in this game finished with 11 points on 4 for 7 shooting overall, 2 of 4 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 3 boards, 1 assist. In 26 minutes, boss. Take off on Dunk.
Yeah, 26 minutes. I mean, I think he fulfilled what he was supposed to do. He couldn't really get it off from 3. They're a great defensive team. But to go 50%, I'll take. He also took some more risks and got to the basket. He had a deep 3 in the first. He had a forced turnover on defense on the inbound. It was like when it went off of someone's leg and then they're trying to inbound it and he hit it off of them. He had a steal. He got a steal. Again, he's just been out there at least registering 1 steal. It's almost weird to see that as a 0 these days. Which is a lob to Ron, who got the free throws. And the second, he had a great offensive rebound and put back off of a Stu missed 3, and he just read the open lane and ran for it and got it in.
Was it a nice little floater he had, I think, right?
Yes. No, that
was that the other play?
Like right in the middle, like a little bit
of
a
floater. Yeah, in the lane. Yeah.
Little touch shot.
Okay.
It was an open lane straight to the basket. I think that he did really good just doing what was needed of him tonight. When he got to the free throw line, he just went 1 of 2.
Yeah.
Got to make those, but also like what's 1 of 2? No turnovers. He was the only starter to not have a turnover. Even Ausar had played 2 minutes and had a turnover. No fouls. Duncan Robinson had no fouls in this game against the physical team. So he had, a good game. Was it fruitful in scoring? Not necessarily, but he did things that helped our team move the ball. He's been a great off-ball mover on offense. He's definitely has some hockey assists in there. He played good defense. Usually, Duncan's a guy that they target and he'll take the foul. And so to show that there is no foul, it just showed me that he wasn't allowing the guy that he was defending to even get the ball. So that speaks volumes to me about Duncan. So I think of course we like to see as a guy who is basically our 3-point shooter, we want to see more 3-point volume.
Got to.
Yeah. That's kind of the only thing is that we have to see him put up more or get open, or we help him get open. But he was well defended to shut that down tonight, but he made up for it in other areas. And in 26 minutes, I will take that, but definitely need to see more than 4 attempts of threes in a game.
This I won't say this to make you happy, boss, but this will be reaffirming for you. I'm sorry you lost some bread, bro, but yeah, that ain't the move no more. Don't do no more parlays like that.
You guys know that little saying that Jokic makes players around him better? It's true.
Oh, that's a fact. That's a fact. You can win despite. You can win despite. You don't always win because. Anyway, yeah, but yeah, boss. I don't really have much to say about Duncan tonight. He knocked down some shots. He was solid, but I didn't really feel like he was that impactful in this game.
Mm-hmm.
He tried. It wasn't like he didn't try. He's got to get up more shots. If he's gonna be our lone 3-point sniper, you gotta put up more than 4 threes. Mm-hmm. He made 2 of them, so it wasn't like he shot bad. But you gotta get up more. You gotta keep the defense honest a little bit more. If that's because he's not, if that means running, double screen action to get him open or whatever, and let him play make just to keep him involved, do that. But he's got to be more involved for a reason we just talked about. That was interesting to see them out there together. It wasn't long, but we saw him for a minute. I didn't really see a lot come out of it because they haven't played together a lot, so wasn't expecting a lot. But maybe that's something they do. Now the defense is going to suffer a little bit, I think, right? Because we know Caris is a better defender than Huerter. He's just not the shooter. Mm-hmm. But I thought that was interesting. But I gotta see more from Duncan. Like and I'm saying that because I know he's capable of more. I know he can do more. 11 points is cool, but once again, I think it's a bad matchup. But they got to continue to find ways because they got 2-way players all up and down that roster, boss. 2-way, just like above average on both sides every game, And so I think it's just a bad matchup for a guy like Duncan. It's just he's not a 2-way guy. He's a good shooter when he's hot. He's a solid defender. So I just think across the board, they kind of just they're a little bit better in certain parts of their rosters. Where we're like, not, Go ahead.
You could just combine them together, right. But
yeah, Petey. Exactly. Get it up, bro. Get it up.
With Huerter kind of worked tonight, even though we didn't get to see a lot of it. I think that's also kind of why, because both of them can shoot threes and both of them are willing to drive. And they're both great off-ball movement. That was one of the things that even JB and Trajan highlighted when they talked about why they brought him in, was his ability to move off ball and fit into a system. Mm-hmm. So I did appreciate that. And I do think, tonight, and we'll get to him later, but I do think Huerter made a case for more minutes going into the season to see where he can fit. Yes. But it did, it was nice to see Dunk out there with them. It seemed that they had a good chemistry. And but yeah, if you have them on the floor together for 4 threes a game, you can still increase that volume, but you have them on the floor together, it's a little bit more reasonable. Mm-hmm. But if both of them are playing, if we do enter Huerter into the lineup and both of them are playing kind of off each other, then we need to have closer to at least 6 attempts a game.
Yes.
And we need to, if
even THJ was doing that. Sorry. Even THJ was getting them up. Go ahead.
If it's hard to, and I see the Nuggets run plays for THJ all the time.
Right.
It's hard to, it feels like Duncan is kind of settling into that, not last man available, but like they don't necessarily run plays for him to get the ball, because we are a paint team. We mostly run plays to get into the paint. We run pick and rolls. We mostly run plays to get our shots in the paint or to get Cade in the paint, I would say. We're not a 3-point shooting team, so why would we run a lot of kick out plays? Mm-hmm. But if Duncan's only shooting 4 threes a game, then you need to run more of those plays for him.
Yeah, especially in a game when they're not allowing you to get out and run. Right. When you are stuck in the half court. That's where he's best anyway. Mm-hmm. So it's like we got to try, and especially when they have big guys where Tobias, who's also good in the half court, can't take advantage of a bunch of mismatches. So it's like you kind of need him to do that because your other options in the half court aren't available as well because of their size. So it's like you got to get up more than 4 threes in that situation. You got to get some turnovers and get behind the defense for some easy points at some point in the game, or you got to get Tobias going, and you got to get Tobias and Duncan going in the half court. If you have no transition offense, you need both of those guys going. If you're in the game, you got to get both of those guys. You got to get them playing at the best. You have to. What up, though, Tom? By the way, guys, Tom is going to be here, I think, next month, if I'm not mistaken. You can let me know if I'm wrong on that. I thought I saw a post today talking about that. Go ahead.
He said April for playoffs, which I'm
Playoffs, let's
trying
go.
to get out there. I'm also trying to
Hey.
get out there, but I gotta see the schedule a little more because
you
weekend
coming.
games fit in better for me.
You're gonna be
But
there. Yeah.
Guys, you guys should all know Korean Pistons fan
Yes,
Tom.
sir. Our dog.
But he just recently made a post asking for
Oh,
recommendations
yeah.
do because he's already obviously done a lot. He's going to be out there in April. He's going to be able to support the Pistons, the Red Wings, the Tigers. He's going to be able to support everybody. Go to that post your recommendations because I'm just going to read them and also take those for myself. But go help him out there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, here he is. And me, Tom, we got to find karaoke.
Feel me?
We got to find karaoke. Everybody, post your favorite karaoke place.
I was trying to get him in the studio, but he like, I don't know. I'm like, come on, bro. It's just gonna be us, man. This is a great way to get you broken in, man. Get you in the lab, get you working. But I'll settle for karaoke as long as we can do the final countdown. I've seen you do final countdown. I got Final Destination. We can make a little remix, do it out of it. That'll be dope, right? So come on, Tom. Don't play me, bro. Come on. I need it.
Tom,
Go ahead, boss.
This is also very.
That's coming.
And I do hope they're okay. So thanks for bringing that up too. But
shout out Tom, man. That's our guy.
Everybody go to his Instagram. His most recent reel, I believe. Recommend everything because I was just basically when I was in town for the home opener, he was there too, and I just basically piggybacked off of his recommendations as well. So,
I'm screaming.
Yeah.
All right, man. We're gonna pivot. Shout out to our God, man. Dom said I ain't done karaoke in years. It's been a minute for me too, bro. I'm usually in the lab instead of karaoke, but I'll pull it out every now and then. So yeah.
It won't be pretty. It won't sound nice, but it'll be fun.
Oh no. We gonna get you a little licked up. Get you a drink or three, and we're gonna have fun. All right, guys. Let's keep it pushing, man. Boss, let's go now to Ausar Thompson, man. Didn't play much at all in this game. Guys, Ausar Thompson played 2 minutes. And he turned the ball over one time and he had one block, and that was it. 2 minutes, man. He left the game very early, like we mentioned. He turned his left ankle, trying to euro to the hoop and trying to push the basketball, trying to get out in transition, and he just kind of rolled his ankle and he didn't come back. It looked bad at first because he was just kind of down for a minute. I'm like, yeah.
I know.
But in the replay, it didn't seem like he turned it all the way. So it looked like it hurt, but I've broken my ankle where I've just like with the ankle like touches the ground, like it's just like that's so. It looked like with him it didn't look that bad, but you never know. It just depends. So hopefully he's good. But we'll keep you guys posted on that. But I thought in the time he played, boss, he was okay. I mean he so the one play I saw was, and you know what? Because I want to let you go too. But the only play I saw where he was effective was when JD bit on that pump fake early when Wemby was shooting the three. JD bit on it and Ausar slid over help side and knocked the ball away and got either turnover or knocked it out of bounds. And I'm like, okay, great help side defense. JD, stay down, JD. So he got to come help, but good help, Ausar. But that was all I saw. That was pretty much it for me as far as Ausar Thompson. So what did you see from him, and what did you miss from him in this game, boss?
Yeah, I think we're talking about the same possession, but it was the literal first possession of the game that Ausar knocked the ball out of Wemby's hand. First possession. And so, I mean, he has zeros across the board, guys, except he has a block because of that. And he does have a turnover, which is so funny.
He had one turnover,
That's just funny. But I agree with you. Like, I do hope he's okay because when I saw him and when it happened, I didn't notice until they really slowed it down into the replay that he turned it. It looked like non-contact, and I was like, this is Achilles. I
thought the same thing. I was hoping he turned it because
this is kind of we've had injury issues this year, especially at the beginning of the year, but relatively we've been healthy. Our stars, our guys have stayed healthy. Knock on wood, they stay healthy. And so to see that was scary. And then to hear that he was questionable to return, that made me feel better because that means they have all types of equipment back there. They have x-rays, they have everything in locker rooms now. So to be questionable to return tells me that they do genuinely think it's a strain. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him the next couple of games because it is against teams that I know we can beat. And we're getting into that form. Like we definitely clinched the playoffs at this point. So I can see that, him having some time off. And I just hope that, it doesn't develop, like we don't find out later that it was worse than it is. But it is always, as soon as I saw everybody kind of gather around him, it's just never a good sign when your whole team comes out and they go to commercial and you can't even see the guy because they're covering you. It's just,
that's just not a bad look. The overhead cameras, like from
that's when I was like, oh man, my stomach dropped a little bit. So but
Chad is saying they think he's gonna be out maybe a week because he walked up on his own power and didn't have a huge limp. I didn't see a huge limp either, but sometimes when it gets cold, that's when you really know, because when the blood starts to flow, like that's when that's why you always see guys on riding the bike when they turn their ankle, they're trying to stay warm. But once you sit down for long enough, as Isaiah Thomas in '88 when he sprained his ankle, couldn't play the next game. So
that's also because I'm someone who grew up with like really weak ankles. They thought both my ankles were broken when I was younger because the bones were like too fused together. So I sprained my ankles a lot.
Okay.
And I couldn't tell the difference between if it was a sprain or a break for a while. They hurt. Sprains hurt, more than breaks at times. So if that's, if it's a sprain, and we've seen ankle sprains throughout the league, everyone deals with them. It usually is a week or two. So, but while it would more so, I'm just worried about Ron, who went out. I'm hoping his eye's okay. It's not damaged to the point
he'll be all right.
Needs to be okay. Yeah, you can get
maybe a mask or something for a game or something.
I also went to the hospital when I was younger. I had a paper cut on my eye.
Yikes! How in the world?
I know. How?
Injury prone boss, man. What in the world is going on over here?
I know, but I also remember that because I had to have an eye patch on for a while, even though it wasn't near my cornea or anything. But like, it takes a little bit of while to see clearly when you have a cut on your eye. It's all you can basically, what you see is the cut,
Okay, right.
So I just hope that he's cool there, because when Ausar went out, we got to see some Ron, which we've talked about on this podcast a few times, of like Ron in the starting lineup. So, oh man, JB said Ron. So who knows? That's scary, and it's scary for him. So Ausar and Ron out is tough. It's tough. So you would hope to see one or both back as quickly as possible, but also what matters most is the end of the season and the postseason. We have a little bit of time left. So
I think he'll be back in no time. I think so, but you never know. So praying for the best for Ron, man. Because he played his tail off too. Go ahead.
And for Ausar too, I think hopefully at worst case is just a sprain that tends to hurt a little bit more than a break, and he's able to work through that kind of quickly. So I am. I've never had stitches or broken a bone, knock on wood, but I've had some weird ones. I've had second-degree burns, cut corneas. Yeah.
I mean, but you were a natural hiker these days, so I think you pretty much solved all that stuff, because you haven't told me about you sprained anything recently. You be out in the trail all the time, so
I have to have high top boots. Like I have to have the high tops for ankle support, which is why I want to scream into the microphone sometimes at NBA players, like, stop wearing these BS shoes. Sometimes I'm like,
they're talking about that in the chat too. Yeah,
they look flat. They look small and flat. I'm like, guys.
King always talk about that too. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I get the style, but it's like, maybe a little nervous too.
Cool. Do it.
Yeah, facts. At least to be there.
Yeah.
We'll leave it there, guys. We will pray for Boss's ankles going forward. Let's go ahead and keep it pushing and jump. And we'll also pray for Ron's eye. I mean, hopefully, like real talk, hopefully he's good.
And Ausar's ankle.
And Ausar's ankle. Yeah, man. In a hurry. Things kind of went so crazy. All right, guys. Let's keep pushing, man. Let's go to Tobias Harris, boss in this game. Tobias, guys, finished with 11 points. 2 for 6 overall. 1 of 3 from 3. 6 for 6 from the line, which is solid. 4 boards, 1 assist, 1 turnover in 31 minutes, boss. Tobias, Uncle T, what'd you see?
Yeah, this is an average game from Tobias. He did Tobias things. I think in any other scenario, we would have been like, yeah, this is a good show out too. He's been a little bit, obviously, I think, especially with Stu gone, his numbers were a little higher.
Yep.
2 for 6, obviously you want to be as close to 50% as possible, but I'm not mad at it. And 1 for 3. 1 for 3 from 3 is fine. Hitting his free throws is huge. 1 turnover, 2 fouls, 4 defensive rebounds. Yeah, just a solid. I don't have no notes for him because he didn't necessarily make any huge plays, but he got us in the game when he was on the court. For 30 minutes, though, that tells me that he played a lot of the second half because after he went out in the first, I don't think we saw him much in the second, or it was we didn't see him a lot in the
saw
third.
him a little bit.
There
Let's start the third quarter. They tried to do that thing we always talk about. Let's start this quarter, get a bucket, and then string some possessions together, and they did.
Well, that's like with Tobias when he came back in at one point, when he checked back in, I was like, oh, we haven't seen him in a while. So that just means that he played bigger chunks of minutes rather than in and out.
I agree.
Yeah. So for 31 minutes, I don't love it, but he didn't do anything to hurt us this game. So
he was like a non-factor, and that's not even a negative. It's just the matchup. It's what's the good. I hate to keep saying it, but I just feel like it's just not the greatest matchup for guys like Duncan and guys like Tobias Harris. It's because they can't really take advantage of what they're best at, right? Especially if they're not shooting the ball well like Duncan, and if they can't get mismatches like Tobias. So it's just a bad matchup. We're used to seeing guys. Tobias just punish guys. When we just go to dump it down and 3-4 in a row, he's just knocking it down. Or we seeing Duncan, he's catching off screen, they closing too hard. Now he's putting the ball on the floor and he's getting in the paint. And the Spurs just don't allow that stuff. They just don't allow that stuff. And they force you to be there because they don't give you anything in transition either. So they're good, man. Like, I hate to keep saying it. This is just a good basketball team, man. I think this is the one time where I'm just like, we just got outmatched tonight. Maybe one of the few times this year where despite how hard we played, it was just like from wire to wire, like we just got outmatched. Exactly. That happens sometimes. That's how I felt for the first time in a long time, if ever this year, consistently with these two games against this team.
Agreed.
So that's all I got on him, man. I don't really have much more. Just kind of, okay, cool.
Like you said, a little bit of a non-factor, but
yeah. So all right, we'll leave it there, guys. Let's keep it pushing. Let's go to Jalen Duren, boss, in this game. Only 7 points. 3 for 7 overall. Only 7 shots. 1 of 3 from the free throw line, which is not great. 7 boards, 2 assists, 1 turnover in only 12 minutes, boss. So we know why, but I will let you tell us and take off on JD. Holla at me.
Yeah, I didn't hate the way that he started the game. He was still trying to get a shot at the rim. He wasn't playing like he was playing against Wemby. He was playing like he usually plays. So I can't fault him for that. In the second, he had a great and one on Wemby, but he missed the free throw. He was just trying to draw fouls. I think he was playing aggressive on that end. But God, the 3 fouls in a row of him jumping at Wemby's 3. Because here's the thing for me. Of course, close out. But no one is going to block a Wemby 3. Stop. So to me, it was just like that. It was just coming off as a little bit, but he also got Stu with that. He also got Paul Reed. Wemby's just that kind of player where you can't know his next move. And I know people in here are like, Wemby was flopping all night though. LOL. Yeah, but like the pump fakes, that's not flopping to me. That's a pump fake.
No, not at all. Not at all.
To bite on those. Just his first 3 of 5 fouls were him biting on the pump fake at the 3. They were all in the same spot.
So I'm going to respond to that because you're wrong. Or you're right. I'm sorry. As far as the approach, you are 100%. I'm sorry. No, you're right. I'm just here's the thing. Here's what people get wrong. That's what I wanted to say is that it's hard. It's already hard, boss, to be disciplined guarding just contesting anyway. It's hard to stay down.
Right.
You want to get the block instead of just hoping the shot doesn't go in because you play solid defense. Like you want to get the block if you can get it against anybody. But against a guy that's 7'4", when you contest, you're coming up to here.
Yeah.
On his jump shot. So he still doesn't see you. He still doesn't. So it's like you feel like in order to affect the shot, you gotta at least jump so you can get here. That's what makes it hard. It's already hard with the guy who's not that tall. So when you got somebody like that who's just literally looking over you like you're not even there, but KD is like that. Right. So with Wemby, it's like it's a whole nother. It takes time to get used to somebody that tall, consistently shooting, especially when they're knocking it down from deep, making you look bad. Like we saw Cat do that to JD last year, and that's not something he wants to relive. So you got a guy in Wemby who's way taller. He ain't trying to have that happen again. So it's like mentally, it's discipline. You were right. But it's just hard. It's hard to put that into practice because he's just different. So it's like when he hits the first three, like in that first play, when he jumped in the air, right, and all that stuff happened. So the next play, the first play of the game, he actually stayed down. That's the thing. The first play of the game, he stayed down.
Right.
He stayed down. They played good defense for 23 seconds.
Yeah.
Inbound the ball, he's way like 5 feet behind 3-point line. He catches it, he gets a hand up, and Wemby knocks it down. So now it's like, man, what am I supposed to do? So now the next time, he's trying to make sure he contests. And when he does that, what's Wemby do? Whoop, right to the basket. So now the next time, you don't know what he's going to do because he caught you biting and he caught you contesting, and neither mattered. So now it's like, I don't know what to do, you know?
Yeah.
So I think mentally, that's the part he has to work on, is just being disciplined. If he hits the shot, he hits the shot. He's supposed to. He's 7 feet. You got to live with it.
Yeah, and I agree. I think I would be more on your like leniency of like mentally, but the fact that he let it happen 3 times.
I
It was
agree.
like one time you're like, oh man. Second time you're like, okay, you've learned. But then he does it again, and you're just like, come on. But I do
argue that.
because they just wanted to make it hard on Wemby, and I get it. But at that point, like, and Wemby was draining his threes tonight. He also has, just like any other perimeter shooter in the league, he has his on and off nights. But like, I'd rather him shoot the 3 over a decent closeout than him be able to get an easy one at the rim. Like, you know, like JD be there and defend, but yeah, don't let him, dare him to. Basically that's what it is. Dare him to shoot it, because, you know, then he's not in the paint. You guys have a better chance of getting a rebound if he's not down there.
That's a fact.
No,
I don't disagree with you.
So absolutely. So that's just kind of where I'm at with that. And we just can't. And again, Wemby did also get 5 fouls tonight, but obviously way more spread out than Duren. And we have been lucky. Our centers got to come in. So Sebastian says, no, the pump fake was legit. You can't go for those. Close out without jumping. Stu did a good job at that. He got Stu the first time. That's where it's different. He got Stu the first time, and then Stu didn't do it again.
That's the discipline I'm talking about.
Yes.
So it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. It's just the next progression. Like, JD has shown that he's no longer, from what I've seen, afraid to get postered like he was last year. Last year, we didn't see JD trying to block shots as much because he didn't want to get postered. Now he seems to not care, and we're seeing him attacking that more. Now he's got to attack this more, as far as not being afraid to get rained on from 3 from a guy who's 7'4". It's all about the progression. Stu was a little bit older. Stu's a little bit more disciplined. So it's not an excuse, but he's still 22. He's still got to learn. This is one of the areas he's showing he needs to learn and be more disciplined.
Well, like I said, too, even when I compare JD and Paul Reed and how I said Paul Reed's IQ is a little better, it's because Paul Reed's been in the league a little longer.
Right. Same thing.
Oh, it is.
Exactly.
Oh, it is.
Exactly. So I agree with you guys. You guys are not wrong. Boss, you weren't not wrong. I didn't mean to say you were wrong.
It was just funny.
You weren't wrong this time.
One you've ever been with me.
Just came right into it. You wrong, Joker. Let's get to Dom real quick. Dom says, not just another scorer. I also want to add a legitimate 7-foot+ guy on this team in the offseason for certain matchups when needed. I'm not mad at that, bro. I mean, we got Tolu. Are you saying you're not convinced with Tolu? I think Tolu can be. Do you mean more so rotation big? Like, because if you don't feel Tolu can be a rotation, because it's hard, because like we got JD, we got Stu, and we got Paul Reed. So it's like, are you trying to replace Paul Reed? Or are you trying to have 2 bigs coming together when JD and Stu sit down if they start? Like, how do you see that looking, Dom? Because if we add that guy, somebody's got to sit. So let me know your thoughts on that, boss. What are your thoughts?
Do you have someone in mind that's coming up in the draft? Because we've seen Stu at the 4. And then he moved to the 5 for us. And I think he's doing better at the 5, even though he can play the 4, which is what he would play if we did start Duren and Stu together.
Right.
So, but then like, if we brought another 7-footer, what does that do to Paul Reed?
Right.
Some little questions. I'm just wondering if you have anyone in mind. Because also like, a 7-footer, I think every NBA team would love a 7-footer. But it's also like, Wemby's a little bit different as a 7-footer because he's the most agile, athletic 7-footer we've seen. So I do agree. I think for me, I'll just take a scorer. But if he's a 7-foot scorer, sure.
Yeah. I mean, I see what he's saying, because we don't really have a footer outside of Tolu, and Tolu doesn't get a lot of opportunities. So I understand what he's saying. I'm just curious as to how he sees that playing out. Like, who do you have? Who do you see?
Even our big guys are undersized except for JD.
He's 6'10".
Yeah,
he's just big.
How is Paul? Is he the same?
6'9", 6'10". I think he's 6'9" officially.
So. And then Stu is 6'8". 8. Okay, so
He's a big
they're
6'8". Yeah.
smaller than a couple other bigs in the league right now too, but still
Right.
being able to get the job done. So
Yeah.
I mean, I can see your desire.
I feel
I'm
it.
just curious if you have anybody on the top of your on your head, because
Yeah.
I'm
Who
curious.
you got on your radar, bro? Let us know.
Yeah.
Boss, let's get some quick comments here. Let's see. Let's go with Heisenberg says fouls 3 and 4 on him with some Mickey Mouse BS from those refs. I feel you on that. Wemby already has a natural advantage over everyone, and then you're gonna give him every little incidental contact too. I agree with that, bro. They didn't help JD, but JD's also got to help himself too, right? He's got to help when he's got that third foul. You got to know, if I'm gonna stick around, I can't play as tough. I definitely got to stay down, and I got to play softer now too. I can't give him a red carpet to the lane if he drives, but I can't be putting the forearm on him. I got to play like a straight jacket, hands behind my back. No reaching, none of that stuff. I got to play straight up as possible. I can't give them any reason to call a foul, right? So you're right, but he also needs to help himself too. Ranger Air says, at the end of the day, Wemby is 7'5", but he's also not 7'5" Curry, right? So give it to him, like Boss said. Dare him to consistently beat you from out there, and if he does, you live with it, because he's most dangerous where in that painted area, and we know that. Sebastian says Duren and Stu together changes that. Stu can guard Wemby, so Duren stays out of foul trouble and is there to get the rebound. Right. That's why, and I'm so glad you said that too, bro, because there was a play in this game. I was gonna wait to talk about it, but he brought it up. There was a play early, Boss, in this game when JD scored. I think it was a pick and roll drop to from Cade to JD, and JD had a nice lefty finish through traffic around Wemby, right? But he fell to the floor. Acrobatic finish. He fell to the floor, and when Wemby saw him on the floor, boom, the other way. You saw him take off to try to get a numbers advantage, right? And they saw it. JD was trying to get back, but he was on the floor, right? He was trying to get up and get back, but he was behind the play. So at that point, guess who has to come over and try to guard Wemby in the post? Tobias Harris. And Wemby just backs him down. Easy turnaround fade, right? That's just not fair. Just not fair. So, like, to me, that's why if you have Stu in there, he can do a better job. He's a switchable big. If JD's down and Wemby's pushing, okay, you got Stu right there to contest right there. You got the other big in there, and then you got JD who can switch over to Stu's guy. But it just gives you more optionality defensively. So when I saw that play, it's like, Tobias, that's not even fair, bro. Like, we need another big man in the game right now for these reasons. So I wanted to point that out, Sebastian, because I saw the same thing. And I just think that would solve so many problems with the Pistons defensively, not even just against the Spurs, but in general.
It was when Wemby specifically was on the court. These are some specific scenarios, because when Cornette came on the court, we went a little bit smaller. We took out Stu, we kept Paul Reed in. That's when we brought in Duncan and Huerter and Jenkins, and we were able to get it down to 10. So it is kind of a little bit specific to who's on the court, which is also helpful to if we did have a 3-big rotation, to not have to play the 2 big necessarily the entire game, but for the game where the threat is out there. So I'll get to this one by I think a lot of people are in that boat as well.
Y'all feel me? Go ahead, boss.
For Dom, again, the archetype would be like a Jackson Hayes or Khalil Ware, 7
I like
foot
Khalil Ware.
Athletic. Yeah, Khalil Ware.
I like him.
Sure. I think archetype saves you here, because if you recommended Jackson Hayes, I would have an issue.
I'm not really a huge Jackson Hayes dude. I don't feel like he has a high IQ at all. Maybe it's just me.
I think he's riding I play with LeBron James and Luka Doncic, so I can get away with some things.
Okay.
But also, like, when you're so hard on DeAndre Ayton, you have to be hard on Jackson Hayes as well.
Expectation too, though. Like, number one pick versus I don't know what pick. Like,
but I told you there are bigs in this league that I genuinely believe. I mean, any era you can pick out players that I think get comfortable and don't want to improve. And I've told you my list, and Jackson Hayes is pretty high on my list for bigs that I think are content in what they do and they think it's enough.
Is he on the fridge?
No, he hasn't made it to fridge. Because I know. Well, the abusers are in their list of their own. I shouldn't have to list them.
I don't even mean that. I'm just saying, like, players
Hayes,
you don't like.
APJ, they're in their own league. But no, he's not on the fridge.
Dang, okay. All right.
But he's just not someone that I'm like, oh, I want, like, the Lakers are craving a big for a reason. I could see them calling about not only Duren, but I can see them calling about Paul Reed.
What they called about Duren last year, remember? The Lakers did.
Fill us in.
Whoa, word.
Listen,
What
because
kind of injury, bro? That just
yeah,
made my heart drop. Y'all know how
yeah,
I feel about
exactly.
Brian.
And you know how I feel about the Lakers and how I feel about LeBron, but I don't want to see that.
Of
So
course not. And he's 41 now, like 42. Like, all right, yeah, keep us posted, bro. Because
okay.
I didn't peep that
But
at all.
Dom too, strictly body type on arms, athletic.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I figured with the word archetype that you meant that because I'm also just like Dom's not about Dom knows ball too well. He's telling me that Jackson Hayes deserves to be on this.
Hey, I wasn't gonna call him out at all because that's why I just went straight to Khalil Ware. I didn't even hit on the Jackson. Hey, I was gonna hit him after. I was gonna DM him after.
Khalil, I feel like
he's nice though.
He's a great backup to Bam, but he could be a starter and he could really thrive.
For sure.
I'm excited to see where he's another player that I really like. So I'm glad you brought him in. But yeah, I just had to, but yeah, the archetype would be cool.
Yeah. Heisenberg agrees, said you're absolutely right. Big upside, but his only drawback is his off on really. Okay, so I wasn't aware of Khalil Ware's lack of motor at times. I didn't peep that.
You won't see him spreading the floor.
Can't have that. I get on JD already for the few times he don't get back. So that would bother me. But yeah, it's hard. Those guys are not just, growing on trees as far as that perfect archetype guy, 7 feet. It's hard to find those guys. So if you guys have any more suggestions, Dom, Heisenberg, all you guys, let us know, man, because I'm curious to hear what those are. But yeah. So that's all I really have on JD Boss. I thought the first game I felt like he pretty much played with me to a standstill. Right? I thought he pretty much matched him. He didn't back down at all, which is what I was happy to see. He didn't look overpowered like how Chet does sometimes. Playing against Wemby, he just looks demoralized, got his head down. Like, you don't see that with JD. Like, JD is a bully when he tries to be a bully when he plays against Wemby as much as he can with his size and his strength. So Wemby first game, they played 21-17 with 6 blocks and 4 assists. JD had 25 and 14, right? So he almost held him to a standstill, right? When you consider all aspects of the game. And I was hoping to see more of that. Just try to neutralize him and make everybody else, beat you if you can. It just didn't go that way. The foul trouble just killed him. The discipline we talked about just killed him. It was tough. The refs didn't help, but he's got to help himself, man. He's got to make sure that he's, like you guys are saying, like, make Wemby beat you from out there. If he hits one, make him hit another one. If he hits 2, make him hit another. Like, okay, that's what you live with. For sure, if he gets to the rim, he's going to dunk it on you. On all of y'all, like on everybody. He's been doing it since he came into the league as a rookie. So it's like you gotta play the numbers. You gotta play the advantages, play the weaknesses. And if he's shooting out there a ton of shots out there, that's a win.
Yeah.
Go like make or miss. That's a win. That's what you want. So so that's where I'm at. So I'm like, he could have played a lot better in this game just by being available. But once again, learning lessons. This is what it's all about. So it's good for him to be able to get a chance to, first of all, see a guy like him. Because I think the more that teams see him, the more they get the opportunity to make adjustments. The more they can adjust. This is really the second time they've seen this team with him. Right?
I mean,
first time I think Cade's played against him this year, right?
It's the first time Cade has played. Oh, you talking about Wemby?
Yeah. Has he played Wemby before? Like,
I mean, this is in the past game, but this is the first time that they announced this is the first time he's played at that arena.
Wow.
San Antonio. And so Cade, I don't know who was his Texas team of the 3. Cade.
Oh, Cade between the Spurs, the Rockets, and the Mavs.
Yeah. Who was his
his
team?
favorite player was Dirt. So Dallas.
Mavs. Okay.
He loved Dirt.
I'm just curious. Yeah, you're right about that. But I agree with you. It just and that's kind of the same thing with LeBron. Like this is kind of how I feel about the Spurs going forward. But like LeBron was able to bring out championships for his teams, but he hasn't won every year because teams did learn how to play against him. They did learn his game. And so that's kind of how it feels about certain other guys in this league. And Wemby is one of them. And Wemby also hasn't played consistently against anyone in his time in the NBA because of injuries. This is kind of the first season we've really seen a lot of him.
Yep.
And he even had a big chunk out this season. So the more consistently he plays against everyone, the more that not only will he figure others out, but we'll figure him out.
Exactly.
The league. So.
Exactly. Like when you play a guy who's that much bigger, you're used to being able to get. Okay, cool. That's good to hear. I can refocus.
They are choking the lead, which is Denver style.
Oh, Denver's choking the lead?
Yeah, they were up by a lot, and then they're up by 3 right now with less than 2 minutes. But they have been
Let us know how
terrible
that
in
finishes.
crunch time, guys. So if they win in crunch time, I can.
Let's go Lakers. Yeah, like it's just like we said, it's just gonna take time, boss. Like this is their first real look. So you're used to being able to get away with certain things at the rim. You're used to being able to get certain shots off, like Cade at the rim, right?
Yeah.
JD at the rim, Stu at the rim. Stu always does a good job of protecting the basketball with his body when he goes up, but it's just hard for anybody to have to make that adjustment with somebody that much taller when you're used to the average big being a certain height and having a certain wingspan. So you're not gonna know until you try it. And once you get it tossed the other way a couple times, you got to try to make that adjustment on the fly. And even that's still hard. Your gauge still really isn't there. You're pretty much going from one extreme to the other, to where I can get it off to I can't get anything off. And you really could have, like Cade with that layup, right? When he missed it. So it's just like they gotta, it's gonna take time to get that gauge with a guy like him. So, you know, learning experience, man. So JD can be better. I'm sure he will be in the future. Now that he's had a couple looks, but he's gonna have to be for sure. We're gonna need him. So all right, boss, we will leave it there. Let's get to some comments. I think I saw. I think we're good. I think we're good for now. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you guys are in there, but
we're trying to get to y'all, man. We're trying to get as many as we can without making this a 3-hour show. Boss, let's go ahead and move down real quick. Clint Capella, please and thank you. 100%.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was about to click on it, but I was like, let's move on.
I couldn't ignore that one. Could not ignore that one for sure.
That was so funny too when he snapped back at him. I'm like, there you go, Clint. There you go, Clint.
For sure. For sure. Deja vu all over again. PTSD is going to be killing me forever. Whatever,
left.
Man. How much time?
22 seconds. The Lakers are down by 5. It's possible.
No, it's over. It's over.
But
it's over. You got Jamal Murray and you got Jokic. It's over.
I'll talk to you guys more about it later too. But I get to see the Nuggets there on a back-to-back. I get to see them tomorrow against the Knicks, and I want to make a sign. Denver only allows printer paper size signs. But you can bring in, but you can bring in multiple. I know. But you can bring in multiple. So I was going to bring in some tape and stuff because I just want to talk about how the Pistons own the kitty cats. But
wait, why? Y'all do it different in Denver, bro. I ain't never heard that before. You can only have like that. Huh? Okay. I don't know. Maybe it's a Detroit thing. We've always been able to like have a big, I don't know. All right. I'll leave y'all alone for now. But you're going to tape, you said you're going to tape a bunch of them together? Is that what you said?
Yeah, you can bring in multiple and tape them together. So I might just bring in a bunch and
tape them. Just bring one big one. I don't know. I'm really perplexed by that. All right. I'm gonna get off y'all for now, boss. I'm going to get off y'all. Let me know if you do make one so I can see it and post it when you're,
absolutely.
Tomorrow's game?
Tomorrow's game, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you can show us on Saturday.
A very fun hate watch.
I hope they hope they smack the Knicks. I ain't gonna lie. All right. Guys, let's keep it going. Paper short of Chanel. Right, bro. Maybe I don't know. All right, guys, let's keep pushing, man. Let's go to some reserves, boss. Let's start with Daniss Jenkins. Tonight, guys, Daniss Jenkins finished with, he did not score, man. 0 for 6. Ouch. 0 for 2 from 3. 0 for 2 from the free throw line. Sheesh. What in the world? 1 assist, 1 turnover in 15 minutes. This was a stinker for Tink tonight, man. Take off, boss. I didn't realize that was what happened in this game. It felt like he did a little bit better than that, but I guess not.
He was good on ball movement. I liked there was a Caris LeVert Jenkins lineup for 2 minutes, and I liked it.
Yep.
But it didn't produce anything, unfortunately. But I know so many people are like, he got paid, he doesn't care. That's not Daniss. Who cares? If anything, this is frustrating for him. This is more frustrating for him than any of us. Sorry, hiccups.
Good.
Yeah, the 1 assist. He went for that dunk. I thought it would.
Who was that on? Was that on Wemby again?
He was on a lot of guys. He had a
couple guys
of a fast break, and he took it. And I was like, you know what? Do it. Oh, I saw the net move, and I was like, did it go in? And I missed it.
And Stan said the same thing. Like, did that go in? I'm like, nah, the crowd is too happy.
Right. And a positive for him tonight is that he did not back down. He played his way.
Yeah, of course.
It didn't matter. And he's done this in a couple games. It didn't matter that Wemby was there. Like, because you could see Cade kind of, Wemby would come to him and Cade would throw a ball up and it was way too hard and an air ball or over the rim. Like, Jenkins just like, I'm just going to play my style of game. And if it gets blocked, it gets blocked. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to to hit any of them. The 2 free
Yeah.
throws came late in the fourth. It was like the last minute and a half. I remember watching that. It was just really off.
Mm-hmm.
Which was a bummer because he's exactly who I wanted and who we like. He's someone who off the bench, like we do need to produce. Like, yes, he's a pure point guard, but for us, he is a guy that, yes, to make plays, and also we know he can hit from 3. We know he has a good range. We know he can get to the basket. He can hit from really anywhere on the court, and unfortunately tonight it just wasn't there.
Right,
which is a bummer because we love Jenkins, and he just had that big game against the Cavs. I think he's just trying to get back into rhythm again. Our whole team has just seemed a little bit out of sync in some areas. Don't know what it is, but I do hope that he does find it soon because I miss it,
Yeah.
Even if he was made a couple of those, even if we still lost and he made a couple, like, I'd be good with it. I do just appreciate his effort out there still. He has some good defense. He's still trying to find his shot. He's trying to make the plays. He's not out there just slacking, and definitely no excuses. He's a guy that's going to go out and put it's the style of game he had on himself. He's not going to blame anything else other than that. So, but it does worry me because I do want him to do well. His minutes were cut a little bit in the last few games. It was, less than 11 minutes in a couple in a row. And I do want to see him more. And I do know that the contract that he signed with us was a team option.
Yeah.
Which means that the team and Trajan have the ability to, void it or trade him and things like that.
Yep.
And so I do want him, and I don't think they're going to jump to that conclusion right away for him. They know what he can do, but I do hope that he finds his rhythm again soon because it has been Jenkins is a very big reason where we're at today because of what he's been able to do for this team.
Yeah. He's been huge for us this year. Like he kept that league leading 13-game win streak we had. He kept that alive because he stepped in when Cade was hurt and kept it going and played very, very well. Right.
Exactly.
So with that, y'all know I'm fair. When he plays, y'all know, like, I've been his biggest fan since before he was on this team permanently, right? Since back in the summer league. So I've always called him out when he's played great. He ain't playing great right now.
Right.
He ain't playing great right now. Straight up. Like, we got to keep it honest, right? We got to keep it stacked. You're not playing great right now. The thing for me is not the shooting. We've always said, boss, I think he had a game this year where he had like 2 points and 15 assists. Earlier this season, and he was the first player since Ish Smith to do that. To have 15 assists as a backup, right? So and the biggest thing for me was only 1 assist. That was it wasn't the 0 for 6. It wasn't the 0 for 2. The 0 for 2 from the free throw line was alarming because he don't usually miss free throws.
Exactly.
But the shooting comes and goes for everybody sometimes. But for me, it's just the playmaking wasn't there. The assist was, I think it's a part of the fact that he's trying to be more aggressive with his own offense. And I think he's really bothered by long teams. Teams like the Cavs, who have 2 bigs and long, teams like the Spurs, who have Wemby and Carter Bryant. Like, I think he's kind of bothered and he's trying to adjust even more because he's used to playing against G League guys. Yeah, exactly. Don't look at Daniss assist. Right. That's the key for me. It's like I gotta see him if he's not scoring. Give me a few assists. Like, generate some offense. If you're not scoring, that's cool. But then shift and then try to make plays for others. I think he tried to at times, but I think he was just bothered by their length, man. Like, I've seen the last few games, he's trying to get to the cup and he's trying to make a pass and doesn't get through. Like, he's usually good with that. Like, zipping passes, they're getting through, by a hair, but it's still getting there. You talked about that, putting zip on the pass like a football. So lately, he's just kind of struggling with just finding guys and consistently being able to make the right play to the right guys and getting it through. But I just want to see him focus for now on just trying to make sure that he's making plays for others, if anything, because as the only other point guard outside of Cade, he's so important for us as far as generating offense off the bench.
Exactly. And that's kind of where I'm at too. And it goes a little bit to LeVert, who again is being asked this by his coach. We're not going to haunt the individual for it. But it seems like lately, even when they're on the court together, it's been LeVert as the main ball handler.
Right.
Makes it seem like Daniss is, either he takes a shot, like his opportunity to record those assists have gone down a little bit, but this has been the longest slump for him in terms of not producing in one area when other areas are off. Because like you said, if he's not assisting, he's scoring. If he's not
Always
scoring,
finding a way to do. Yeah,
just kind of being kind of. But
tough stretch.
the two free throws just obviously just go to show like how he was feeling tonight, because and these weren't necessarily clutch free throws, but they were points to add to the score at the end of the game. But
usually automatic,
come out with the clutch, especially against the Cavs, and that's usually what we can rely on from him. So I think again, it just goes a little bit of some things being out of sync. We've talked about even Cade being out of something is off with this team, and it's just like it's just we've seen teams. There's been plenty of teams in this league that have gone through midseason slumps. It just feels like ours is coming a little bit later than maybe others were. And so hopefully they shake it off quickly. And I do hope with some of the matchups we have coming up that we can really just, blow out some teams, just feel back in rhythm. It's almost like we need a gimme game to feel more like ourselves.
Yeah. Just build some confidence, get back home.
And
tough stretch you just went through, man. So
but I gotta try to look at it as a fan who hasn't known Daniss until this season. And so maybe, his production as of late has been disappointing compared to what we were expecting from him. And especially after we waited so long to sign him, and then we did. And then it seems like it's gone down since then. But if you've been a fan of him for a couple of years now, like Deuce and I have, like other people have, you seen his production? Like this is genuinely a slump. This isn't
yeah, for sure. I'm not worried, bro. I'm sorry.
This is not
what I see.
Right. This is not this is the kind of guy we're going to get from here on out. If anything, I could see this being probably maybe one of the worst slumps for him, and then him just continuing to thrive with this team.
Yeah, I think in a couple of weeks, he'll bounce back, and nobody will be talking about he's a G leaguer, he's exposed, getting exposed, the film, well, whatever. Come on, Crud. Come on, bro.
Just letting me know. He's updating me.
He's letting all of us know. Well, you wanted to make sure you updated us. That's why he threw it on the screen, Gloater. Anyway, whatever. I'm a Lakers fan, so I'm just salty right now.
You could be a Lakers fan, but there's no way you're a fan of the way of their style of play of late.
No, I can't stand the way they look right now.
That's all I wanted to know.
They're going nowhere, bro. It's like to me, this hurts LeBron's case for being the GOAT. Like this don't help. This don't help, bro.
I think when
this
people
don't help
now, they
because people are going to remember him more so for his latter years than the years when he was in his prime. Even though his prime almost 10 years now. So
he's gonna go join Harden and Mitchell and Donovan Mitchell next year, and he'll be.
I don't want that at all. No, stay in LA, bro. No, stay over there. I'd rather you stay there. I ain't trying to do that. All right. But I'm not concerned about Daniss right now. Like he said, he's slumping. This is a time for him to go through it. I'm not worried. Like I think in a week or two, he'll be fine. He'll bounce back. Like the whole team, he gets some confidence being back at home. I'm not worried. I've seen too much on him, to start to worry. Now he's still a hooper. He's still a baller. He's still showing us what he can do. Like, don't forget what he's done this year, guys. In a couple weeks, and you're like, don't have short memory. Don't forget why we signed him. It's the reason we signed him. So come on, let's not do that. Let's not do that, man. Let's show some confidence in these guys, man. We can't be. It's been too many knee-jerk reactions this year to things happening. It's been too much. It's been too much.
I just think it is valid when we've had a very hard 2 weeks, whether we won or not. It's been a hard 2 weeks. Yeah. And Kevin mentioned it earlier. It's a little bit of adversity. And so at least we're losing against good teams. And I know it sucks. The losses suck, especially when we're literally not used to losing this season at all. And then you see you meet up with these other teams, but the losses are tough. But it's also like, this happened to be our hardest stretch of the season. It could have come 2 months ago, like some other teams, but it's right now. And luckily, like I said, it does even out a bit. We have the Wolves coming up, which are a good team, but they struggle against teams they don't know.
Facts.
So I think we do have the upper hand on them. We have teams like the Sixers, the Nets, like we have the Wizards who have given us problems this year, but hopefully we can finally shut that down. But this is the
tough. Them twice too, right? I think.
Yes, back to back. Yeah. Okay. But this is the toughest stretch, and it's been a lot, and unfortunately gotten pretty even, you know, but it could have been a lot worse at the same time. And
Abraham made a good point. Go ahead, finish.
Yeah, Abraham, real quick. This was the toughest stretch of our schedule, and we went 4 wins and 4 losses, broke even, so not even that bad. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of how I feel it. Of course, like the 4 losses sting after we've been on such a, like, you know, haven't had to experience that. That's basically a fifth of our losses all season. But it's tough.
True.
Right. But it's just tough because we're on this run. We're finally getting recognition. We're getting national teams. Cade's an MVP conversation. And of course, it's all happening at the same time of our toughest run of the season. But that's just going to show us what we can do and what we need to fix. And then additionally, it's just going to really help all these guys get better. And
every team goes through adversity every year. Everyone the champion every year. Whoever it is goes through adversity through an 82-game season. This is what you can call our adversity. So if we tripping on this, come on, man. Come on. Like this is not even real adversity. So this is just a stretch. So let's not overreact, man. We can't do that right now. Can't do it. Let's give these guys time. So that's all I got. It wasn't a great game. Hasn't been a great stretch. He's got to pick it up. We need it. I think he will. I do.
I think Lil J is right too. It felt like I think it was 3 losses, not 4. So we
were 6-3 over this span.
Spurs, yeah, and then Cavs.
Yeah, that's it. Because every other game we won without Stu, right? Except for the last game against the Cavs. So
2 years ago, I should be celebrating that. And I think our toughest matchup coming up is at the end of March against OKC. But we got plenty of games before then as well, and I'm excited for that game too, to hopefully play a healthy OKC. It's just going to show us where we're at and what we're missing. And again, guys, of course, every season ends with a winner, it ends with a trophy, but the NBA isn't going anywhere. It's not like it ends this season. And so many of our guys are going to be back with us next season. And we're also going to make some adjustments. It's just exciting. I'm just thrilled for all these guys, but I'll just get off topic with that. But
Claire is right though.
Yeah.
This team, a young team, needs adversity. This is how you grow, man. You got to take your lumps. In order to get to where you're trying to get to, you got to lose. That's what Jordan told Shaq. In order to win, you must learn how to lose. This is what every young team goes through, bro.
And
everybody.
Real quick, too, if like, you know, we'll check the poll, too, but if the poll is still that the Spurs just outplayed us, then what they can take from that is that they're not the best team in the league right now.
That's what we were saying earlier.
And so they're going to have to take how do we become the best team in the league? How do we? And each guys that we've gone through, we still have quite a few on the bench to get through, but each guy that we've gone through has had their positives and their negatives to work on.
Right. So for us to be saying the sky's falling or concerned over 6-3, 2 years ago, we never sniffed any point in the season where we were 6-3, barely even 3-6 at any point throughout the season 2 years ago. So let's keep it in perspective and let's not overreact. That's all I'm saying.
When I went to the Never Nuggets game with the Pistons here, I saw so many Pistons fans that I've never seen before. It's been a tradition of me and my buddy Preston. We go every year for the past 9 years. And even he was like, where did all these people come from? I'm like, are they hiding? I've had people look at me dead in the eye and be like, I've never met a Pistons fan before. Like, that's how bad we were for so long, you know?
Yeah.
And so this is just the beginning. But
anyways, 100%. 100%, man. So we'll leave it there, guys. Y'all get what we're saying. Boss, let's keep it pushing. Let's go to now. Wait, did I have any more comments I want to get to before we move on? Let me check. Mike says Daniss can compete, or Daniss can handle, pass, score. He's multi-talented. He's gonna find a way to be effective. I'm not worried. I agree, Mike. All right, guys, let's keep going, man. Let's go, boss, to Caris LeVert. So, guys, Caris LeVert in this game finished with he didn't score in this game, guys. He didn't score as well. 0 points, 0 for 5, 0 for 1 from 3, 3 boards, 3 assists. That's encouraging. 20 minutes, though. 20 minutes, no points, didn't shoot well, did some other things pretty good. Take off on Caris LeVert. What did you see tonight, boss?
Yeah, guys, I didn't realize it was 0 for 5. It felt like 0 for 3. I know he wasn't really getting it off, but he didn't, score for us, which is something we need, but
Oof.
I did have some positive notes from him. In the first, he had a good assist to Stu under the basket, and then the next possession, he had a block on Harper on the other end. So like that was just stacking those good things. Great find to Stu for the score, and then a block on Harper. In the second, he had great defense at the top of the perimeter.
On Castle.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
and he had a great find to Wu behind the defense as well for the Wu didn't dunk it, but it could have been a dunk. He only had one foul. He had no turnovers. Of course, you want to see him scoring. If you're going to put up 5 shots, you want to see at least one of them go in, 1 or 2 ideally. But I don't even recall those shots. I know he had a bad 3, but yeah, I think if a couple of those field goals went in, even if he went 2 for 5, this would be a different story. I understand why you guys have your criticisms of him, especially because we saw guys like Huerter come in and kind of outplay him in those areas. But his defense was necessary. He was on the floor for some of our comebacks. I think
agree with that.
Plus minus is -11. But if you look at everyone's plus minus, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So
in the words of Eric, plus minus.
Yeah, plus minus. There are literally only 4 guys above him in plus minus. So I didn't hate what I liked. I liked what I saw from LeVert tonight. I think 20 minutes too. JB again didn't play him in kind of crucial moments. Like once he was helpful, he took him off, and we didn't see a lot of him. So 20 minutes, I'm cool with. I could see those minutes getting divided up a little bit more with some other guys. Just cool with who they played tonight. Because who are you going to say they should have played?
I would give him all those minutes, man. Every single one.
Huerter played almost 18. So I'm saying who played tonight. I'm saying that we've seen Caris play 20 minutes without Huerter playing. Like based on who else other than Kevin Huerter, it's like
considering Ausar was out, considering Round was out. Yes. Okay, that's fair.
Yes. That's another reason. So I do. And last game he only played 13. I do think that JB is kind of falling off of his LeVert train a little bit. Like it seems like he only played 20 minutes because of those losses. Because you can look at the next best bench player was Wu, and he played 19 minutes. Like he's still
they all played a little bit more. Okay,
yeah,
that's true.
So, that's true. I think for his minutes, again, he was kind of a non-factor. Just like we said about Tobias, there's kind of a non-factor in the sense that, like, he did, he had the second most assists of the game, guys.
How many turnovers did he have?
None.
Okay.
So, like,
what about this? Because now I'm like, this.
I could see it.
You know what, man?
I'm mad at it.
It's time, man.
I'm not mad at experimenting with Caris LeVert, but I will say
if we experiment, you know what I'm saying? If we gonna tinker and do that stuff.
But if you took today's game and placed it into somebody that never watched the Pistons before, and you're like, let me know what you think of LeVert, they wouldn't say like, yeah, he shouldn't be playing as much. But he was kind of he was a factor in the sense that he had some good feeds. He played great defense, but he couldn't get us scoring out there, which is what we needed. But
like if I'm gonna get on Daniss for not scoring,
right?
Who's the point guard? I gotta get on Caris LeVert for not giving us any offensive production. You gotta give us something.
This is a traditional Caris stat line for us.
Mm-hmm.
It has positives and it has negatives, and that's kind of where it's been. Mm-hmm. So he has more positives than some other guys on the team that usually have more positives than him. So that's kind of where I'm saying with him is that I do think that he did give effort. He did play well on defense. Only, again, 1 foul, no turnovers, 3 assists, which was second to Cade's 8, which is nuts, which means that the ball was just not moving. And yeah, so I'm okay. I'm okay
I got you. You made a good point. You made a good point about availability too. Because if Ron and Ausar was here and he playing 20, I'm like, come, all right. So that's valid. I'm with Chris. Chaz. Stop. Now make that bucket drop. That's where I'm at. Go stupid. I'm like, come on, Chaz. It's time, bro. It's time. I'm ready to see Chaz Lanier. Mm-hmm. I really am. Like he's a rookie, and it's crazy to say that because he's a second round pick, but we've been hitting on second round picks. It seems like not, pretty lately. So it's just like, I'm ready for Chaz Lanier. He's a two-way guy. He can shoot the basketball. He's a good defender. He may not be the level of Caris yet just because he hasn't played a lot in the NBA, right? But I think you're going to get a lot more on the offensive end as far as scoring the basketball, making the right. He doesn't turn the ball over either, boss. Like, that's the thing. He's not asked to handle the ball, so you would have to rely on him playing with the Daniss Jenkins and not working out well. That would need to work out well because you're not going to ask Chaz to bring the ball up, initiate, especially not yet. He's too young for that. But at this point, spacing wise, I'm 100% giving him a chance. What's up? Mike says.
This relates to what you were saying.
Right,
Chaz
exactly.
And also can replace Caris. But again, we've been talking about, we just want Daniss and Cade to be the handlers.
Exactly.
And worst case,
you wouldn't have to.
Even Duncan brought it up. Even Huerter brought it up today. But like if Caris can play, but I do agree, like it would have been as much as I'm not gonna sit here and defend LeVert, but I'm not gonna crap on him either. But like I agree that especially in a game that JB was trying things like Sass and like Huerter, why not try Chaz? Why not? So I do agree with that.
Yeah. So I see both sides of it, man. For me, it's exactly what you said. Like when you're trying, like for it to be a game, I'm not trying to get on JB because he knows more about it. But for me in a game when you're trying stuff and you don't try the two big lineup and you don't try Chaz, I'm confused.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I'm just confused. So I just want to I want to see what he's got. I want to see what he's got. Not a ton of film on him. Give him a chance. He's not a young player. He's not 20. Like he's been around for a while. He's played full, career college or full college career. Played at Tennessee. Played tough defensive team. So he knows what he's supposed to do, and he can shoot the basketball, man. I've seen him with the Motor City Crew. I know it's different, y'all. I know it's different, but I see what he can do, and I've seen him do it in the NBA too. On this level, not in a huge sample size, but he's shown he's not overwhelmed on the court. He's fine on the court. He's good. I hope so, Mike. I hope so. So I'm glad that brought up. So real quick, boss, a comment I had saved from Dom. Dom says, who starts in place of Ausar? I think that's a great question because I don't know. Do they go with Daniss and Cade again as the backcourt, and they go with Ron as the starter? Or I'm sorry, you still got Duncan. I'm sorry. So you go with Cade and Duncan, and then do you go with Ron at the 3?
Ron's injured.
Oh, that's right. He's out, but he's not out. He's not out for sure for next game. It's just kind of like we'll see.
Let's assume.
Okay, so let's assume it's him. Okay, wow, that makes things
interesting. It's gonna be LeVert. Twins are gone. I'm sorry, guys, but it's gonna be LeVert. It's gonna be Caris LeVert. It's gonna be Caris.
I would rather be. Look, so I'm not feeling that at all, bro. I'm not feeling that at all. I'm sorry. I do not want to see that.
I'm not saying I'm like
shade to nobody, but I don't want to. I ain't trying to see that, man. Give me Huerter, bro. Give me Huerter. No, for real, just for spacing, man. Like, give me.
It might be Woo. It might be Woo.
Okay, I'm not mad at that one. I'm not mad at that. I would probably rather start Woo at the 3. To me, that's a more natural two-way player. Caris won't start, even though he was on your head.
But based off of
he was on your head.
Substitutions and based off of how this entire team has been run since day 1 of the season.
Don't be manifesting them, boss. Come on now.
I'm not manifesting nothing. I'm just telling you what to expect.
I'm knocking on wood like it's an injury thing.
So you're not devastated later. I will go with Woo. I think I'll be Woo.
Okay. I won't be mad at that one. Because wherever he plays, whenever he plays, he's effective. So I ain't mad at that.
This is ideal.
Starts to I like that. I'm not mad at that at all. So wait, how's the bench unit look though? Because you got Paul Reed. Okay, now you play Paul Reed. That's a plus. Play Caris, Daniss.
And it's against the Nets.
Huerter.
So it's not like
I'm not mad at that. They got options. Totally. They got options. But I agree, Classic. That's his natural position for me, really, is the 3. It's what he is. And that's why I would say it's not his fault when I say I want the 2 big lineup. It's just not a true big. It is what it is. So yeah, this may be the silver lining I've been waiting for. This may be exactly what I needed to see happen. But blessing in disguise. If that's what it takes for Stu to start at the 4 with JD, then I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it. Hopefully get well Ausar, get well Ron. but I'm taking that as a small W if it means that permanently we get Stu and that takes us off into the playoffs and we get those guys back. Yes, yes, and more yes.
This entire season too, because if this plays out like you want it to play out, you would want Stu for Tobias permanently. So
yes.
We have yet to see. I could see them more likely just keeping Tobias in the starting lineup and throwing Stu in there. That is the most likely scenario if they do decide to start Stu. But like, we have yet to see Tobias come off the bench, and I still think he would be good for us off the bench. So like, if Stu came in, I don't know if they move Tobias to the 3. I think they just pick another 3.
I honestly would rather him at this stage in his career, because he's still in more of a natural 3 than a 4. But at this stage in his career, because he struggles sometimes to stay in front of 4s on the perimeter. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it will be tough for him on 3s at this stage of his career. Mike says, wait, Cade, Daniss, Duncan, Stu, Duren. But the only problem with that, Mike, is you have no backup point guard.
Yeah. Unless
no backup point guard. Unless you're gonna run with Caris, which I don't want to see.
Or
I don't want to see that.
Or you put out Cade first and then bring in Sass, and then when Daniss goes out, Cade comes back in.
Like stagger them? You could try to do that. You could try to do that.
The only way I could see that working, because Sass, even though he's more of a 2 as well, I do trust him with the ball.
Yeah, but you just never have a fresh point guard other than the start of the game, the start of the second half.
That's it. Daniss, I would prefer to come in for Cade, but we have seen him come in. But that's when LeVert would have to come in. That's why I do think it's going to be Cade, LeVert, Duncan.
We heard you the first time. I ain't trying to hear it again. I'm sorry. I ain't trying to hear it again. I'm not trying to. It's not even a you thing. I just really don't want that to happen. I just hope we don't get that. No shade. I just hope we don't get that. So we'll see. That's a great question though by Dom. A great question. And who knows the answer? Like that's something they probably trying to figure out right now. Like, okay, so what do we do? We're down the best 2 wing guys. How does it going to look? So it could be any. Listen, you guys let us know what the 5 you think is going to be. Either here or in the comments after the video. Who do you think is going to be the next 5? If whoever gets it right, we'll shout you guys out in the next video. I was first to suggest that. I want my I got you, Heisenberg. All right. I give you the credit, bro. I give you the credit. I believe you. But yeah, let us know, guys, who you think is what that lineup's gonna look like. Because I'm actually very curious, boss, and I hope it's a blessing in disguise. So we will see. This is why I wanted Middleton, boss. This is exactly why I wanted Middleton on this team, man. This is exactly
wait, can we put a wager on it? Maybe we will. I think it's gonna be LeVert. I think it's gonna be LeVert.
I heard you. Okay, you think it's gonna be LeVert?
I know.
Okay.
That's why let's put a wager on it. Who do you think it's gonna be?
Who I think it's gonna be? At the 3?
Who do you think is gonna replace Ausar in the starting lineup on Saturday?
Just his spot, like not the whole 5. Just the
Ausar's
3.
spot. And consider let's say that they let Ron rest his eye and Ausar rest his ankle. Okay. Who is coming in for Ausar? I'm gonna say LeVert.
I'm gonna say Wu.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Cade, Duncan, Wu, Tobias, and JD. Okay. Sorry, I wasn't even trying to do that.
No, it's okay.
That's what I think is gonna happen. I want Stu and JD with those same other 3, but I think it's gonna be Tobias.
Woo.
Yeah.
Okay. I have
woo. Manifesting that.
I'm happy with
that.
I could just see.
No, I got you. You trying to be realistic. Maybe I'm in fairyland. I don't know. That's what I want. I want it to be Wu. Because then you got more 2-way ability in that starting lineup. You got shooting. You got more shooting with him and Duncan. Still got Tobias in there. Is more shooting. I hope we get that. We'll see. All right, guys. We'll see. Go ahead, boss. What's up?
I was just gonna say JB also sees 2-way in Caris.
So moving on, guys, let's go ahead and go. Let's get to Caris. We talked about him a little bit at length, but anything else you wanted to add after you hear the stat line? Did we do the stat line? We did it already. Okay, we did Caris already.
Yeah, he just needs to. For me, all I had to add is that I liked his game tonight. It's just if a couple of his shots went in, it would have been a different story. And that's just kind of been the theme with Caris. It's like, but if he did this, it would have been different. But if he did this, we can move on. Yeah.
If was a 5th, I'd be drunk. All right, guys, let's keep it pushing, man. Let's go to Javonte Green. Can you woo? I need you to play this Sunday, man. For sure. I need you to start for sure, bro. All right, guys, come on. So Javonte Green finished tonight with 10 points on 2 for 7 shooting overall, 1 of 3 from 3, 5 for 5. He shot 5 free throws, 5 for 5 from the free throw line. 3 rebounds and 2 blocks, boss, in 19 minutes. So what did you see from Javonte Green tonight?
God, just disruption and awesome. He hit it. His first shot attempt was a 3, and he hit it in the second.
Yep.
He was super disruptive on De'Aaron Fox. He played De'Aaron Fox very well. He had knockaways.
He did.
And that, I think one of them was counted as the block for him. He had a block at the rim. It was the challenge for the goaltend. I forgot who that was. I don't know if it was like Harper or
it was one of them.
Yeah, it was one of the good Spurs, which is 6 of them. But
okay.
Yeah, he had a block at the rim, and it was challenged for a goaltend, but they lost that challenge. Or we won that challenge, sorry. And then, again, just super disruptive. He created a jump ball on Wemby versus Tobias because he was just knocking it out of hands. It was a loose ball. He had some great looks, some great cuts. He just did woo things out there. He looked a lot more like himself. He played for 19 minutes. I mean, 2 for 7 doesn't seem great, and 1 for 3, but just on everything else that he did. Again, like you said, like hitting all of his free throws. He had one that was he had 3 in a row at the end of the game that he hit. It was just a little bit too late to like really soak it in. He had 3 fouls.
He blocked Fox. That was who it was.
Okay. He had 3 fouls, which is very high for him. You know, that's my favorite stat to point out of his. No turnovers. Yeah, he was a positive for us tonight, and I'm glad to see him closer to 19 minutes. I don't know if we would see him at that high with Ron and Ausar both out, because even when Ausar got injured and then Ron came in, we didn't see Wu till a little bit later in the second. Like, he didn't come in right away for us.
Agreed. Yep.
So I do want to see more of him. He did hit some clutch 3, or the clutch 3, and he got some good looks. Just mostly great on defense. He's definitely, he's another argument for why we should just utilize his minutes more going into the playoffs and find a consistent minutes for him. I think that he should be like, he played, 1 minute less than Caris, but he's someone that I would rather see out there in a different role, or at least at the same time, because he can definitely also, like you said, produce on both ends for us. So
yeah, I feel like what he's done this year off the bench, he's earned the right, if it's available, to start. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you guys are cooking in the chat right now, talking about the things that he's done, how he's been consistent. I saw somebody said that he's been good since All-Star break. I'm like, bro, he's been good all year. He's been good all year. He's had a handful of subpar games, maybe 1 or 2 bad games all year.
I mean, what do I always say? What do you always say, boss?
About
Javonte. He's our most consistent
player. That's what you said. And you said that, and I've said he may not start games. Hopefully he will Saturday. But he always he often closes games because he is a winning basketball player that helps your team in some way, shape, or form while he is on the court. Right? So I feel like if one guy deserves an opportunity to get a crack at a start, just as a reward, because they're probably going to win if they start Caris or Javonte anyway Saturday. Yeah. I would reward Javonte for what he's done this year as far as helping his team, man. He's such a great connector on this team. He makes so many just positive plays on the basketball court. He does it consistently. He doesn't hurt you. I've rarely come away saying, man, he played terrible. What was he doing with this decision making? He kept bouncing the ball off his foot, taking all these bad threes. Like, that's never the case. He just makes the right play over and over again. So he has been the biggest surprise for probably all of us this year as far as expectation level and what he's doing. Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right, boss. Like, he has been the most consistent player as far as what to expect and what his role is, and then just going out and executing it and doing it every game. You are 100% right. He's been the best at that all year. So I totally agree. Maybe that's part of why I wanted to be him, because I feel like he's earned it. I feel like he's earned it. So, and I feel like he will seamlessly fit the best with those guys, considering how he's played. Just as far as just a natural fit, as far as who can play with anybody. He can fit in anywhere, any lineup, any first team, second team, third team. You can drop him anywhere in any situation. He's going to help you. You're not concerned like, don't shoot that, or don't make that pass, or don't turn it over. Like, you're not ever thinking that with him. So it's just like, yeah, give him a chance. So I thought he was good tonight. I thought he was really good. Made a lot of heads up plays like he always does. The effort's always there. That nice block at the rim, I think you mentioned, that got overturned. in our favor, which was nice that you mentioned that. So
Where's
yeah,
he
just give him a shot, man. And I feel like if you give him that opportunity, he's gonna reward you. If you start him in a game like that, he's gonna reward you. He's gonna step up and be big. Mister, that's a good team that beat us today, coach. That's a fact, bro.
Yeah.
That's for me. If you saw the initial thoughts, bro, that's kind of what we had to start with. Like, hey,
That's what I
tip
was
your cap,
saying.
bro. Tip your cap.
We called you out earlier, Chris, but you didn't have your headphones, so it's okay if you missed it. we saw your comment earlier as well, but that's exactly what it was. It was just, and Wu didn't contribute negatively to anything that the Spurs did as well. So
yeah. So I'm gonna leave it there for him, man. I just hope he gets that start. But I thought he was good tonight. I thought he was one of the positive players in this game tonight, as far as like he stood out as a bright spot. I thought he was one of those guys. So we'll see, boss. We'll leave it there on the Savage Wu. Let's keep it pushing because we are at 2 hours and 15 minutes. Let's try to get through the rest of these guys. Got 4 more guys to get through, 5 more guys to get through. So we're gonna keep this pushing, y'all.
Yeah.
Let's go, boss, to Ron Holland. We talked about him a little bit already, but let's get to Ron. So guys, tonight, in this game before his exit, Ron Holland finished with 10 points on 4 for 6 shooting, 0 of 1 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, and 5 rebounds. That's good to see there. In 12 minutes. So those numbers would have been even better had he not gotten hurt midway through the third quarter. But what did you see, boss, from LeBron Dog Pound Jr.?
Yeah, let me see what his split was. Yeah, he had 3 offensive, 2 defensive, because my notes for him were offensive rebounds, ! Hustle, ! And then the third 2, great defense on Fox that forced a turnover as well. It's when Fox dribbled off of his foot. Ron looked great out there. I am just concerned for him. He was offensive rebounds, and what weren't rebounds were cleanups. Like he got just right back in the basket. Like he looked fantastic. 4 of 6 is huge. He attempted 1 3, and it wasn't even that off. He had 4 offensive rebounds and 1 defensive. I was reading the line.
Wow, he was crashing that glass for sure. You're right. Yeah.
Yep. No turnovers. He only had 2 fouls. Only played 12 minutes because of the injury, and I do hope he's okay. I hope he's okay. And I'm sure someone said that someone earlier said that JB said he couldn't see, and I hope that's just more of like from pain and blurriness, not anything more serious.
Vision.
That's concerning. That kind of injury, he could be out for a little bit, or he could be back as early as Saturday. So I'm curious to see how that plays out, but it's just a bummer that it happened that way. I know Wemby even went up to him and was like, no maliciousness, which it wasn't.
Yeah, you flopped. You flailed your arm. You should go over and say sorry, bro.
Yeah. So just tough there. I think, it sucks because me and you started this and we were like, we don't know if the outcome would have been different, but the way that Ron was playing, it would have been
well, it's hard because if it's sorry, I just feel the Spurs were. I'm not going to take credit away from them and saying that I still think they would have won this game, boss. I still think it may have been more interesting. I think Ron would have made it more interesting, but I feel like the way they were playing, they were like, we're not going to lose this game tonight. They played a pretty complete game from start to finish. I got to give him credit, but I think Ron could have made a difference.
Like in less minutes, he had more points than JD. He was only 2 rebounds behind him. I just think Ron's hustle could have kept it a little bit more interesting, I'll say. I can't ever the what ifs are gonna drive us crazy, but with a SPURS defense and then Ron able to come in to help out, the game could have shifted possibly.
Because I was like, okay, opportunity for Ron. All right, bet. Let's go. And then he gets hurt. It's like, come on, man.
The hustle was immediate and apparent, and I think he could have done some more damage to this team. I think he matches it. I think the Spurs are a good matchup. Not as bad of he can match up against them based on some of the other.
He some problems.
How some of them it's a bad matchup. Like Ron, the Spurs don't deter his style of play at all. So just a bummer that we didn't get to see more of him. And for now, I just honestly I just hope that he's okay.
Exactly. I missed a super chat from Dom earlier, so I'm gonna get to that now. It's a little bit off topic, but I'm still gonna get to it because he put it in about 10 minutes. So I missed that. Sorry, bro. He says Dwayne Casey had Kojo and DeLon Wright. Monty had Killian, and JB has Caris. We gotta stop letting coaches put their sons on the team. Chaz got the flamethrower ready. I definitely agree, bro. I hope we see some Chaz Lanier minutes, man, especially now. This is the opportunity with our spacing issues, like we've talked about. There's no better time than now, especially against the Brooklyn Nets team where we're probably going to win. I won't say regardless of who's playing, but we're probably going to win that game anyway. So this is a great opportunity with those guys being out, with the opponent, those two things combined. Let Chaz go. That's where I'm at. But go ahead.
I haven't seen us play the Nets yet because I think we played them twice this season. I could be wrong, but I think we played them twice this season, and both times I was at Nuggets games. One of them was the Cup game, and I think that was kind of close. Like I think the Nets were able, like they were still kind of a challenge, but I think we had kind of a blowout on the other one. I could be wrong, but I do hope that we just blow the Nets team
convincing
out.
Win.
Convincing
let
win.
The starters get some rest
minutes, and then just let some of these guys kind of prove because. I'm sure it's frustrating for the fans as well because I don't disagree that like when you're like we need another shooter and then you know that you have some shooters that are underutilized, whether you think it's Sass, whether you think it's Chaz, whether you think it's Huerter. Yeah. We have a little bit of underutilized perimeter shooting right now. So I hope that he can make it. I think in some of the schedule that's a little bit easier. It's a great opportunity for some of these guys to really just show Coach and Trajan what they're capable of and what they can. And I think the reason that they're not not quick to jump to that is because we have been winning with the lineups that we've had. So, why disregard those guys and the work that they've done. But if some of these guys can help us finish strong and get us to the next level, then why not? So I think they'll take advantage of that.
Especially in a situation where it's not just win-loss anymore. Like guys are legit down now. So it won't even be like it's a loss of confidence or anybody. It's just like, hey, next man up.
Sick. I'm gonna have to be updating. I'm gonna be refreshing my page like every 10 minutes for the next few days until I get updates on both of those guys.
I know. Same here. I'm gonna be tapping in with Amari and Cody and Hunter and Eric, of course. Cool. All them guys. So yeah, for sure. All right, guys, let's keep it pushing, man. Let's move on now to Isaiah Stewart, boss. Go to Isaiah Stewart. So, guys, tonight in this game, Stu finished with 18 points on 4 for 8 shooting, 3 for 5 from 3, 7 for 8 from the free throw line, 6 boards, 2 assists, 1 turnover, a steal, and a block. In 30 minutes. Good stuff from Stu, man. Looking more like the Stu we remember, for sure. So, boss, what did you see tonight from Dog Pound Sr.?
He looks just a lot more in rhythm. I mean, 18 points is incredible. The free throws were huge as well. He made 7 of 8. He just was getting to the line. He seemed to have the attack method down, whether it was on Wemby or it was on Cornette. I loved that. Was it Cornette? Oh, no, that was Paul Reed. Never mind. I'll wait for that. But he had great closeouts in the first. He was super disruptive, made his free throws. Like the closeout on Wemby after he bit the first time, the second time the closeout was like perfect, and Wemby just happened to get like, he was attacking Cornette again, getting to the free throws in the second, drained a 3 late in the quarter, hit a big 3 to keep it close in the fourth, like at the 6-minute mark. I want to say it was like they were up 14, and he hit a big 3 to bring it down to 11. He blocked Wemby, put that on the resume.
Yes, he did.
So got his 2 stocks. 4 of 8 overall is wonderful. 3 of 5 from 3 is fantastic, especially with lacking that. So yeah, Stu just, and you could tell that just the way that they were showing him on camera and times walking off the court, you can tell that he just wanted to lock in. He wanted to do the best. Michael says only criticism I have of Stu is passing on wide open looks late. I agree.
I agree.
There were a couple that it was. Yeah. And he only pulled down 5 rebounds, but he was really battling for them. He definitely could have had a few more loose balls, but he looked more like himself tonight, which is exactly what we need. I told you last game, I just wanted to give him some grace for coming back because even though it was 7 games, it was over an All-Star break. It felt more like a month that he's gone. So he just definitely looked more like himself, and I can still sense that he wasn't completely satisfied with the production he had out there. I think more so on the defensive end because he does take it very seriously, his job as coming off the bench and helping at the rim. So I expect this trend to continue. I expect this was his best, his game back. He was the second leading scorer in this game behind Cade. And I think that will just continue to go for the rest of the season. And that is scary if I'm any other team, even though we lost tonight, I look at that stat line and I'm scared.
I agree. If the Pistons would have found a way to win this game, he would have got the belt in my book.
Agreed.
Got the belt. Impact wise, I mean, Wemby went crazy, but Stu was the only one that really made it hard for him. at times. Wemby's gonna get some easy buckets just because he's just so big. But Stu made a lot of shots just tough. A lot of things were tougher. Stu gives up 8 inches to Wemby, bro. 8 inches. That's stupid. So for him to be able to make it tough, he's got a long wingspan, but come on, this is Wemby. This is crazy. He's not supposed to be able to do that. He's not supposed to be able to bother him the way he can bother him, but he uses his body and his strength. He knows how to use his body. He uses all of that size to get the very most out of his body and his size that he can. And I just thought he did a really good job of just using his strength to his advantage. Just using that physicality. He made it tough. He was physical. He moved his feet. He was contesting without fouling. Like we saw Wemby still hit some tough shots. It's like, hey, tip your cap. Okay. Still good defense. The best you can do. So that was great. But that's what you want to see. Just make it hard. So I thought on both sides, boss, he was one of the best players, if not the best player on both sides of the ball in this game. I wish he would have shot the ball more. I saw somebody say he's not a volume shooter. I don't know if that's true. I think if he is able to take 3, but the only way it's going to happen is if he starts because he's going to play more minutes and get more attempts. That's the only way we're going to see it. Like he used to shoot 700 threes a day, guys. Like legit. Like he has been in the lab working on that jump shot for a couple years now, right? That's one of the only positives from the pre-JB era, I'll just put it that way, that I appreciate is that it allowed him to work on his 3-ball. When he was playing at the 4 at times with JD at the 5. That was the first time in his career he'd ever played anything other than center in his basketball career, was the year before JB got here. So that's the only silver lining to that, is that it got the ball rolling with him shooting the basketball. And that's why we're seeing him over the last few years continue to get better and better. So I think if he gets starter minutes, he'll get more attempts, opportunities, and we can see him knocking down 2 or 3 threes a game. I think that's very possible, but he's got to get the opportunities, and that's only going to come if he's getting those minutes. So that's where I'm at, which is why I think he needs, y'all know. So I think he can do it. I really do.
Yeah, really and positively, I really do like that he was able to put up 5 threes today and make 3 of them. Like that impressed me because, again, this is a guy that's coming off of time away from the team. And so those are just going to come in big in terms of that's just a really positive thing because going forward, and especially in the playoffs, it's going to come off big, especially if, regardless if we have the 2 big lineup in or not, if you see Stu on the perimeter, they were giving him space tonight to shoot that. And he dared, and he delivered. He delivered. I didn't see it, but
go ahead.
He delivered on that dare. And I think that will come in handy too in the playoffs is to, this is a guy that can block your shot on one end and hit a 3 on the other. So.
Yeah. And it's like when you're open, bro, shoot it. Like, he's such a selfless player though. Like he's not a selfish player at all. He's always looking to make the right play. And, he don't want to take shots from other people. It's like, bro, we need you to do that. We need you to be a respectable 3-point shooter. We need you to make the defense move. So volume. If it's there, we say we're Ryan. We say with Ausar. If you open, you gotta take it. You gotta make them respect you. So for a guy like Stu who's proven he can shoot it, man, get that thing up, bro. Don't hesitate. On the positives from Caris was that Stu he had an attempt, he passed it up, he missed it. Caris got the rebound. Stu hesitated and passed it, and I think Caris passed it back to him. And like, get it up, and that's when Stu put it back up. So it's like, bro, if you open, man, these guys got confidence in you. Make the opposition have confidence that you're going to make it if they don't defend you, right? Yeah. So you got to get it up. Got to give it up. So that's where I'm at with Stu. That's the only negative.
That was a nice assist from Caris too. I think we talked about it. I think he is a smart player and he's an NBA player that we like, but it's just might not be the perfect fit. But right now, he's just making the best of his minutes out there, I feel like, in certain areas. But I do remember that because it was just a huge play. And for Stu also to, again, get that ball and not try to dribble it in and try to give it up, he understood the assignment of like, no, you can make this. And he's
the ball. Shoot it, bro. Shoot the J. Shoot it. For all my Dave Chappelle fans. My Prince episode, if y'all remember that. Anyway, let's keep pushing, man. Let's go to I know somebody gonna comment that. Let's go to Paul Reed, boss B-ball Paul in this game, guys. Finished with 6 points on 3 for 4 shooting, 4 boards, 1 turnover and a steal in only 9 minutes. 9 minutes, boss, for B-ball Paul, man. Okay, take off on B-ball, Paul, man. What did you see? What did you see? I'm trying to let you go. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Stu and Ron had 5 rebounds in, 12 minutes for Ron because he was hustling, but almost 30 minutes for Stu.
Mm-hmm.
And then Cade and Tobias had 4, and then freaking B-ball Paul comes in. He gets 4 rebounds in less than 9 minutes, closer to 8.5. He goes 2 for 4 of shooting. He scored immediately. Like in the words of Johnny Kane, nanoseconds.
Shout out Johnny. Yeah.
And scoring. He had a nice dunk. He's the one who did the flopping on Cornette, which I was like, Luke.
Yeah. So Luke pushed him, and then he act like he was gonna push him again because he thought Paul was gonna push back, and Paul he didn't even push back the second time.
Yeah.
And he still flopped. So Tony Brothers is like, nah, bro, come on, what we doing? Stop.
It was absolutely insane. Like B-ball, and then B-ball too. Like if they had called that foul on B-ball or something, he would have just been devastated because he did end up picking up a decent amount of fouls. I think he ended with 4. He ended with 4. But again, that was just kind of just playing physical and trying to get the job done. And a couple of them, one of them, I know he had his arm straight up, and Wemby just like But you can call that in really any game sometimes when it's just enough body contact. So the fact that he kept his arms out, it wasn't reaching fouls. He had a steal. I was just happy to see him tonight. But I feel like the only reason we saw him was because of the foul trouble, which is so nice to lean on. But we've talked about it. An 11, 12-man rotation, like in the playoffs, then B-ball would be number 11 and he'd rotate in for Stu and Duren, and literally there'd be constant rim protection, constant shooting or scoring in terms of different ways. Yeah. And then B-ball's biggest, for me, he's just a rebound magnet. When he was here, when the Pistons were here and against the Nuggets, and B-ball had to go to the locker room for some reason. And he walked by. There's a little aisle. I was close enough from the aisle. I wasn't on court side, but there's a little aisle to the bench. And I was like, there's B-ball Paul. And I was yelling, he's a rebound magnet. And he turned and looked at me and gave me the nod, And but cool. That's basically what he is. He just draws the ball to him. He just gets it done. And there were a couple loose balls too that I feel like even if he was in earlier, because there were a lot of 50-50 balls that I feel like went the Spurs' way. That wouldn't happen if B-ball Paul was on the floor. It wouldn't happen. B-ball Paul, Ron Holland, and Javonte Green, and I'll throw Ausar in there, but those 3 especially, they loose balls are they love it. It's like the freaking what's the little gold thing in Harry Potter? Now I've lost my.
I never watched Harry Potter. I'm sorry. I've never seen it. I know. I missed the boat on Harry Potter for sure. I know.
The golden snitch. It's like this thing that you can only certain guys can see it, and you have to go grab it. And that's the golden snitch is the ball for them, where they just they're drawn.
Help us out, chat. Help us out.
No,
because I missed.
I know what the golden snitch is, but it's just facts. Basically chasing, and if you catch it, you win. So that's kind of how I feel about them. Is they just go onto it. They go after it. The energy for those guys is just unreal, and B-ball Paul definitely solidifies that. And I hope that he gets, like you said, if we can, whether it's a 2 big lineup to start or just a 3 big rotation, I think that's our advantage for other teams. It's our advantage.
You have to.
When our scoring isn't, when we can't point to one guy to consistently score for us, or even 2 guys, our advantage right now is how deep our 5 position is.
100%. Yeah, so that's what Phil was saying. What are you playing? And I'm like, yeah, you definitely have him in that 3 big rotation. So that may mean that Tobias might lose some minutes. I'm okay with that, especially because you want to start the game your way. You want to play the game your way. We play the game getting out and running. We take advantage of our size and our physicality. 2 big lineup must be deployed, in my opinion, and that forces Paul Reed to play because he's going to back up at least one of those 2 guys. The first guy out, have him come in for that guy. That's where I'm at, right? And then you can allow Tobias Harris in that second unit to get things done against second stringers in the half court. That's exactly what I think would be best. Balance the lineup out. Miyuki says, right, Dave Chappelle, you want some grapes? All right, let's keep pushing. But yeah, I'm just like, why did we only see him on the second half? That's my thing. Like, I gotta see him
For
sooner,
foul
bro.
trouble.
I have
Mhm.
to. And right, it just makes me wonder, like, if that didn't happen,
No, he
we
would have
probably
been
wouldn't.
in last game.
Ugh, Lord
Yeah.
Almighty. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. Man. Rebel says Pistons definitely need to use 2 big man lineup. Need 1 or 2 shooter playmaker away from being unstoppable. Who would you target in free agency? We're gonna get to that next episode, bro. It's getting super late. We try to keep this at least to like 2 hours. As we already 2.5. So check back, bro. We'll be back Saturday, bro. Appreciate you showing up, Rebel. But we're not trying to go too long. But I appreciate your comment, bro. And yeah, I'm with you, Lily. The 4 or the 5, whoever comes out, Stewart, JD, have him come in because Paul can play with either one of those guys. He can play with Stu, play with JD, doesn't matter. So we're definitely he's excited for that. What's up?
Let's do SAS real quick because we
Let's do
should
it.
be less than.
We got Sass and we got Huerter. Yep. Want to do Sass first?
Yep.
All right, let's do Sass first. All right, guys. Sass in this game finished. He didn't score. Only took 1 shot, and that's it. In 7 minutes, he really didn't get the chance to do much. Like, go ahead. What do you see from Sass? Take off.
He helped greatly with ball movement. There were a couple plays that him, Daniss, and LeVert were able to connect very well and get the job done, and other guys too. So he basically out there helped with ball movement. He did a good job staying in front of De'Aaron Fox. He only got 1 shot up, and I wish he could have had more. But that's basically where I'm at with him. It was nice to see him. But again, we saw him like literally in the first quarter and never again. And that's just kind of where I'm like, okay, try things, but like stay consistent in them. I think he definitely could have helped us in other like going on. Nothing he did was warranted benching. I don't think he did anything negative, but he wasn't able to. I think he would have gotten more minutes if he was able to like sink a shot or get a steal or something.
Yeah.
But I still think my biggest thing was I just noticed that he helped a lot with ball movement. So
okay. I noticed. Yeah, I did notice that. That was probably the only plus I saw from this game. To be honest, I'm not even. Y'all know I like Sass, but I didn't think it was gonna go well in this game because the Spurs have big guards, boss.
Yeah,
they've got big guards, and that's what Mike says. Like Duke says, Trajan likes height, and tonight's show why Sasser has a tough time. A couple of Spurs guards just shot over him comfortably. They shot over him comfortably. De'Aaron Fox was getting by him comfortably. He couldn't stay in front. It was tough for Sass. But once again, he struggles in these kind of matchups because it's like he's a pit bull. He's a bull. He's gonna play as big as he can, but you can't teach size. Same thing with Tobias Harris at the 4. So like in matchups like these, when you got to go against a 6'5", 6'6" Devin Vassell, 6'5" Stephon Castle, a 6'4", 6'5" Dylan Harper, 6'6" Dylan Harper.
Right.
That's tough. That's tough. So and then De'Aaron Fox is 6'4", so it's not even anywhere you can kind of put him to hide him a little bit. It's just tough for him.
Sass was definitely put in to see if he could get some shots up and drain them, and I think that's why they were quickly to be like, this isn't working because he wasn't able to get open for a shot, and then like you said, the Spurs were able to even though his defensive effort was there and he did have some good defensive coverage in some moments out there. Yeah, they were able to utilize his size against him. So I think he was brought in for scoring, and they weren't allowing that, the Spurs defense, and also just our offensive scheme out there. And then JD was like, "Wait, well, this isn't going to work." So I don't think it was anything personal to Sass. It was just more like we couldn't find a groove a rhythm, because 7 minutes isn't something to scoff at. Like, it seems little, but we've seen guys in there for less. So
it's just hard to ask him to do much in 7 minutes. Like, that's not even really fair to me to be like, he ain't doing nothing. It's like, come on, bro, 7 minutes. He only played the game. That's not fair.
Minutes than him, and you can remember B-Ball's impact.
Right. And guys, like I'm usually like, I love the small guard. I like the McConnells. I like the Pritchards. I like the AIs. I like the Sack, because I was a small guard when I played. It's different, but when I played, like I know the chip you gotta have to just be able to stay on the court. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need that extra edge just to stay on the court. So like I root for guys like Sass. I'm just going off what Trajan said he wanted. Like Michael said, Trajan said top of the year, he wants defensive versatility and big guards. That's why Caris is here. That's why Duncan is here. That's why he drafted Chaz. That's why. That's the whole point. So it ain't like I don't want him to play. it's gonna be hard for him based on what Trajan said he wants defensively and offensively, what he wants as far as the ball movement, as far as the ball not sticking, as far as not going one-on-one. Like, it's just hard to find a natural fit for him consistently in this offense. And I think this was one of the worst games to try to deploy him because he's going against so many big guards. It's just hard. So that's all. Yeah, exactly. It's not a small guards league anymore. It's just unfortunate, but it is what it is. He's a bucket offensively. We know that he can score on anybody. That ain't the problem. Does it come within the flow of the offense? And are you able to make sure you're not a lot of ability defensively as far as just not being big enough? That's literally it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, man. We'll leave it there. I still hope he, even if it's not here, at some point finds an opportunity somewhere else because he's too good to just sit in the bench every game, man. I hate seeing that for him. I hate it. So we'll leave it there, boss. Let's keep pushing, man. Any comments you want to get to? What's up? Go ahead.
No, I just have a question for the chat. If you guys were tuned into Lakers Nuggets, because I'm just looking at some of the scores. Did Ayton get injured? Because I see he only played for 4 minutes.
Who's that?
DeAndre Ayton only played 4 minutes tonight.
He probably sat himself down because he wasn't getting enough touches.
I'm just curious if he was injured, if anyone saw it.
I'm not an Ayton fan at all, bro. I do not like DeAndre Ayton.
I was just checking some of it out because I was just curious how it played out. I mean, Luka had 4 steals, but again, this wasn't a defensive team, so
not at all. One more thing, and then Kevin too says it's also tough for him to finish over. I was saying Daniss struggled with their length, and he's like 6'3", 6'4", so it's just tough all around. That's all I wanted to point that out too. That is strictly basketball. That's why I feel the way I do about Sasser. I actually like Sasser a lot.
I think even against the Nets don't even have that big of guards. Like it's just different. It's just different.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, we'll leave it there, man. Boss, let's move on and go to our last guy of the night, Kevin Red Velvet. Is that a velvet? What is that, velvet? Kevin Huerter, guys, tonight finished with 7 points on 3 or 4 shooting overall, 1 and 2 from 3, 5 rebounds for Kevin Huerter, boss, and 2 assists in 17 minutes. Most minutes I think he has played as a Detroit Piston. So what did you see from Red Velvet in this game?
I liked him out there, and we mostly saw him with like dunk, which was crazy. Like
that was weird. Not weird, but interesting. Yeah.
It was interesting because if we said it out loud before it happened, we'd be like, that's just too small. It's not going to work. But it worked. Like, it worked tonight. They didn't, when they were on there, that's when they were cutting leads. But anyways, in the second, he had a steal, and then he disrupted Harper's shot. He had a shot clock buzzer beater 3 in the third. Yeah. Maybe all of his
three is a Piston. Second 3 is a Piston.
And the last time, I think the Bulls have only won, they've just won the other night, but the last time before that, in February, the Bulls went winless, and the last time they won was on a Huerter buzzer beater game winner. Maybe he just needs the pressure, like woo, like really good clutch. And Jenkins, I'll throw him in there. He had a great drive to the basket after a successful challenge to cut the lead to 10 in the third. Yeah, he looked good out there. And again, just what I reiterated in the beginning, like how we were kind of surprised that he leads the league in like percentage of
what is it, like pick 6 finishes or something like that?
Yeah, he leads the league in that. And like we could see that tonight in some of his aggressiveness. Like he did get a steal and he got it out. I think he got to Cade, who didn't end up finishing at the basket, and they didn't call a foul or anything. It ended up being they didn't get anything on the offensive end, but Huerter looked good. He had some nice drives to the basket. He had some nice floaters. He had his 3. I like what I saw from him. And that to me just, shows me that he's fitting into the stay ready mentality. We don't even know when he's going to get his minutes. I wasn't necessarily surprised after I saw Sass. Like once I saw Sass, I was like, okay, he's gonna be experimenting a little bit. But like to play 17 minutes and have that stat line is fantastic. And I do hope that we come out strong in the Nets and we do get to see more of him, because he could be, if he could sink into some rhythm on the threes, he could be the answer to some of our shooting woes when we get into those situations. And this is a guy, like, we go back to the trade deadline. You can watch me just crap all over him. Like I,
Oh yeah, she was not rolling, bro.
I was
She
not happy
not
with
rolling.
Huerter because I knew
I think part of it too is like we lost Jaden, so I don't think we was gonna be happy either way. Like at
it
first,
was
like
more that, but also like
yeah.
I have been watching the league and all the league for years, and I watched his downfall from like being red velvet on the Kings to struggling to then going to the Bulls and then struggling. So I just kind of like made fun of my Bulls fans for that too, as a Chicago person.
You in a lose then.
Yeah, so I was just kind of just like, this is just not the guy I would go for after like why? But it's all starting to make sense in hindsight why we did end up with him and why Jaden was gone. But if he could start to produce like this, I think he can do even more in the minutes that he has tonight. This is what he did against a great team. This is what he did against a very good defensive team. And so that's a positive for me because then I sense that, he could even unleash more. And it seemed like he had good chemistry with Cade. He had good chemistry with Daniss. He had great chemistry with Duncan. He just looked really good out there. So I'm excited by his minutes.
I think he can have a woo effect. I don't know if he can do consistently. I haven't seen that consistent. Like if the Huerter from Sacramento can be impactful in the way that I think Woo is here. As far as like just being able to do a little bit of everything for you on the basketball court. Maybe not to that level, but I think maybe close. Because what I saw from him with Sacramento in that 7-game series in the first round when they took Golden State to 7 games.
Yeah.
The year Golden State won the championship, they pushed them to the absolute limit. In Red Rifle, like Kevin said, Red Velvet was a big part of that. He's a great mover without the basketball. He can knock down open shots. He plays good defense. He's a good cutter. He can score at the rim. He can score in the mid range, like he did tonight. He can score from 3, but like he can just do a lot of things pretty well. And I think if he can get back to that guy, I think he definitely should be the backup shooting guard. No question about it. No question about it. He may not be able to give you the same level of defense that a Caris can, but he can be close. He can be close because he's shown the ability to be the pickpockets, pick poor Robin clean at times, right? Pick poor Robin clean, but offensively too, he can just do a lot of things pretty well. So if he keeps this up, I hope he continues to get I've been giving him 18 and 22 minutes a game. I'm letting him go. I'm letting him go with Daniss and those guys and Ron. I think that could be a pretty potent second unit. I do. So I'm hoping he keeps this up. I'm glad he got the chance. Once again, silver lining for guys being out. So hopefully we see more of it going forward. But I like what I saw for sure from Huerter. He needs to get more minutes. I want to see it. So that's all I got, boss. Anything else?
No, man. Oh my gosh. This is probably our longest show in a while.
I know. And it's a loss. It's crazy.
Off of a loss.
Shout out to y'all, man, because we really been responding to a lot of y'all comments, man. That's why we've been going so long. But hey, y'all still here. Y'all still want it. So we're going to give it to y'all. But look, we appreciate it, man. We appreciate y'all for staying up to almost 2 o'clock in the morning again, as you guys always do. It's crazy. But let's I'm going to show you guys some love for that. Boss, let's recap real quick before we got here. So guys, the schedule does lighten up a little bit for the Pistons going forward. We know the upcoming game that the Pistons have is against the Brooklyn Nets, and that comes on Saturday. It's going to be a home game, and the Nets guys are at the bottom of the conference in the East. I think they are second to last in the East with 15 wins and I think 46 losses, pretty much basically almost the invert of our record almost. So the Pistons should take care of business in that game, and we'll see who starts and what the rotation looks like, but that should be interesting. So, boss, you have any closing thoughts or any thoughts looking ahead to that game aside of what we talked about, or do you want to rehash anything we talked about?
No, it's like we have the Nets, then the Heat, which are always a little bit of struggle for us, but then the Nets again. Like we have some opportunities to really just get our confidence back in this team, individually, team-wise, against hopefully, especially after 2 losses in a row, which we haven't had since December. We haven't had 3 losses in a row this season, I believe. Nope. I hope we just blow them out and we get to see everybody on our roster get minutes and show off what they can do. So I was just looking up that the Heat beat the Nets tonight. So the Nets are still struggling.
What is 15 and 47 now or something like that? Something crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So there's no reason to lose that game. I'm sorry. We had our lay an egg game against a bad team already when we lost to the Wizards. So now that we're late in the season, it's crunch time. It's time to really start locking in on who we're going to be come playoff time. So we better not lose that game. We better not lose that game. So I don't think we will. But yeah, appreciate you guys, man. Been a great
Yeah.
show. Yeah, night owls for sure, Craig. Y'all are definitely up tonight, man. We appreciate you guys. So look, man, we will call it a night there, guys. We appreciate you guys for showing up and showing out as you guys always do. Make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe if you are new. And we hope you guys have a great night. And y'all know the drill, man. Detroit versus everybody. See y'all Saturday. Peace.
All the dirty work, all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot. And I'ma be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think it's just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of canine. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking pundits, I heard your shade. Talking that shop, you must run this way. Put the dog palm, mess around, find out, yeah. Put the dog palm, mess around, find out, yeah. For some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop a hill, cause I'm like that. When you're real for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop a hill, cause I'm like that.